I feel like I'm such a like simple-minded thinker when it comes to that shit. I feel like I'm missing like the broader picture. Like I'm missing it. That's why I say like I don't know, I don't fully understand what that means because again, we're talking about a category of feelings that broad spectrum, like
Precise.
broad fucking
Take it from
spectrum.
me, gang. You ain't missing a goddamn thing.
Well, that's cool. I need a bankroll. Try you an asshole. Yeah, I know. Now back to the bankroll. No time for game. No time for niggas that be on their funny shit. No time for niggas that talk about niggas and niggas that not on their money shit. Now I know you ready to watch the video, so I ain't gonna take your time up. If you trying to join the clan, get your merch. It's that simple. Quit asking around. Quit asking him, her, whoever. Go on, get your merch and come become part of the clan.
Derek! You! Guess this is round 2 of me getting fucked.
It's gonna be the last one. I can't do it.
No, but
It's
I'm
still
just
because it
saying,
still
like,
takes for your partner to communicate what they like. But that's why that's why it's good to really see. You find out what you like when you're really to yourself. It's really find out who you are as a person. Then once you present yourself to the table and the other person presents their self to the table. Because again, like, I mean, outside of, like, I don't like touching myself. So I can't necessarily say, like, that's something that I would know. You know, I would be able to tell my partner, like, no. Like, I prefer you to touch me. I don't like touching like, it's different for women. They can get off touching themselves like that. Well, some niggas do, but I'm not with that weirdo shit. But I'm saying the simplicity of.
wait, what are you talking about?
I'm saying as far as like most of the shit that compacts a relationship is shit that really ain't got to be figured out. Like, cause you even something as simple as like, hey, I like surprise parties. You got a handful of people that don't like surprise parties for whatever reason. It's just not their thing. Like, don't surprise me. Let me know what I'm walking into. I don't like surprise. You know? But you still have a motherfucker that'll go against the grain and decide, oh man, it's just one party. She gonna really love it. And then they looking like the shit face when the motherfucker walk out.
Yeah.
So as simple as shit can be, motherfuckers just make shit difficult.
But that's why I was saying, like, it can be like, I think in some aspects it can be simple. In other aspects, like, it's always gonna be just like, I mean, just like any other feeling or emotion. It's always gonna be complicated. Like it's always gonna have a complicated nature to it. There's always gonna be some complication to any type of feeling that we have, whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, just
Well, how is it
any
complicated?
fucking thing. Because when you're dealing with emotions can change, and you can evoke an emotion that you feel like should be opposite of how you actually feel, but it isn't, right? So like, if you love somebody and they go out and do some stupid shit, you're gonna be pissed at them. You're not gonna be pissed at them because you don't like them. You're gonna be pissed at them because of how much you like them, right? So already you have a contradiction. You are upset and mad at somebody that you care deeply about, and the way you talk to them is as if you don't like them, but you're talking to them in a way, in that certain way or that certain manner, because of how much you care about them. That makes sense.
Nah, you lost me.
I would
Besides.
consider that as a
If
complication.
I'm pissed off at exactly what you did because the shit was stupid.
Right. So when you are pissed off at somebody, you then start to talk to them as if you may dislike them, but the only reason that you are talking to them like that is because of how you feel about them.
Wait, but you know me, besides not necessarily, because I can not know a motherfucker for the can of the paint. If I feel like what you did was stupid, you're gonna get talked to like it was some stupid ass shit you did. Now if you walk away
but you're
feeling,
not gonna say, but the reason you are talking to them about it and explaining how you feel about it is because you already feel some type of way about them.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, a random can come to me and explain
shit,
to me some shit,
and you have no emotional ties to them. You ain't gonna really give a damn.
well, it depends on how stupid it is, whatever he's explaining to me. It's still gonna be some emotion in there because I don't like stupid shit.
But that y'all see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. See, Trae, he.
I'm saying Precise gonna get the same treatment, just like a random that come in here and say some dumb shit. You gonna get the same treatment because it's stupid. It ain't gonna have nothing to do with how much I know you like. If you do some dumb ass shit, bro, I'm finna let you have it. Cause you didn't have to do that.
But the drive of saying it is gonna be totally different compared to somebody that you love. Somebody that you love, it's somebody that you love at the end of the day. Even though you have a dissatisfaction with what they did, it doesn't change you loving them. When you're dealing with a random, you have no emotional tie to them. So yeah, you can cuss their ass out. Oh, that was some stupid ass shit. And then there's no emotion behind it. There's no background emotion. It's only what is presented to you.
But I'm saying, but they gonna get the same. What I'm saying.
That's where emotion kind of takes over and gets a little complicated. Like people cry when they're happy. That's a contradiction. Emotions are just confusing and complicated at times. And sometimes the emotion that we try to evoke, or the emotion that you would think should be shown, the fucking total opposite. Some people cry when they're angry.
Okay, so if you go back to what I said, some
people don't even get sad.
If you go back to keeping shit simple, you don't run into this. Even if your emotions are getting the best of you, step back. Okay, what am I feeling in this moment? Okay, I'm angry. Why are you angry? But motherfucker just did some stupid shit that pissed me off. Okay, take a minute. Okay, you're not dead. No, I'm not dead. Okay, where do we go from here? Okay, I'm finna let you know you fucked up it. I'm finna let you know you had me fucked up it. And I'm finna let you know how we can move forward. You do that shit again, I'm cutting you off. Simple.
But that's why I'm saying that's easy for somebody who can control their emotions. But unfortunately, emotions are just not something that we can just control. We can't control what emotion we feel. We can only control how we react upon that emotion. And even sometimes that is difficult to do. Emotions are going to happen.
Well, again, if you're getting that kind of emotion.
Oh, damn, the mic been muted the whole time.
Nah, we heard you.
Nah, I'm talking about the damn string mic.
No, if you're getting that kind of emotions, that still means that they're coming off of somebody else that you're dealing with. Because I guarantee you're not walking around that motherfucker just cussing out the clear blue sky for no reason. If that's the case, you need to go lock your goddamn self up something and figure some shit out. Because you got life twisted.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes emotions don't need a reason to come out. They just come out. That's what makes them so complicated.
No, precise. Nah, that's cap. Your emotions are just not...
That's not cap.
You're not finna just blurt out anger for no reason.
Sometimes, Trae, we just feel emotions and we don't understand why we feel them. And there might not be a necessary cause of it. It just happens.
No, that doesn't make any sense, precise, because something has to trigger something.
It does not. That's just not how emotion works.
Give me an example then.
That's why emotion is so complicated.
Give me an example.
Somebody can wake up and be like, yeah, you know what, I feel good. This is a good fucking day. And other people can just wake up in a bad mood.
So is that not...
For no reason. Literally, no fucking reason. You slept good. You fucking went to sleep at a reasonable time. Nothing has happened. You haven't heard any lick of bad news. You just wake up in a fucked up mood. That's just how it happens.
But see
have to
that's
necessarily have
something
anything
totally different outside of a relationship. You going off the conversation now.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as but even like with relationships, sometimes there literally is nothing that evokes that emotion, but you still have that emotion because of how you may feel about something. So nothing necessarily has to happen in order for you to feel like that, but you just feel like
But
that. Like trust issues. When people have trust issues, the other person did absolutely nothing. But they still have this emotion. They still have this emotion of dread. They still have this emotion of untrusting, or not trusting the other person. They still have this emotion of sadness when the person leaves the house for absolutely no fucking reason. There are so many different emotions that can kind of just pop up, and there doesn't have to necessarily be a reason. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it makes, so when you look at something like love,
well, besides you
like,
indirectly just gave the reason. If a person leave the house and now you done got upset, and that's triggering your trust issue, you just gave the reason.
but that's what I'm saying. There is no reason to feel like that because the other person is not doing anything.
But according to what you just said, they're indirectly doing something. So if you haven't communicated with your partner, then they're not going to even know that they're doing something. But that still goes back to what I said about keeping shit simple.
But they're not doing anything.
Precise. They're indirectly doing something.
But that's what I'm saying. At that point, that is a problem that is on you. That's not on them. What? Don't leave the house ever because it makes me feel like this? No. That's not it. That is a you problem at that point. If you feel like that and they went to the fucking store, now, if you have a conversation with them about it, oh yeah, you know, I kind of feel like this, then at that point they can take steps in order to fix it. As far as, oh, I'm going to the store, you want to come with me? Maybe that make you feel better if you leave with me more often. But to say, okay, this is the action that triggers this type of feeling, so I'm going to need you to stop doing this action when the action is very normal to life. That's just, I feel like that's not.
I mean, but if y'all coming up with a solution, then y'all still simplifying the problem. You keeping shit simple.
But that's what I'm saying. With a problem like that, it is such a complicated emotional response to something that is so normal in life, to leave the house. That is a complicated problem to solve.
If you make it complicated.
No, it is a complicated problem to solve.
No, it's not. Hey, babe, I kind of got this little weird problem with you leaving the house at random. Okay, well, either come with me or shut the fuck up. It's that simple.
But that doesn't fix anything.
Oh. Precise.
Leave with me or shut the fuck up. That doesn't fix anything, Trae. That person is still gonna feel like that because emotions are something that we feel.
Okay, but again, if you're not taking the necessary steps in yourself to fix it, then again, you're not simplifying it. You're causing another problem by just thinking that, okay, well, whatever, I'm just gonna feel like this. Fuck it. You're not doing nothing to fix it. It's not necessarily the other person's job to fix it.
But that's what I was saying. That's why I was saying it's on you at that point. But the other person can help you if you have a conversation. But at the end of the day, it's something with you. But again.
But it doesn't have to be complicated. That's all I'm saying. You make shit complicated. That's what I'm saying.
There's no way to not complicate it.
What?
There's no way to not complicate a feeling like that. Because
it's a feeling. There's nothing that you can do about it if it pops up, but there is something you can do about it to help suffice it.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's still gonna pop up. So there's only so much you can do about an emotion like that.
So then just don't get in a relationship, then you ain't gotta worry about the shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Again, I don't feel like that is a fair answer because I can't say okay, you have this one thing, you have this one fear, so just don't get in a relationship. Don't enjoy the fruits of being in a relationship at all. I can't say that because that's like telling somebody, oh, you're afraid to get in a car accident. Well, you might as well not even drive your car no more. Just don't even drive no more. Don't even get in a car no more. Walk. It's like no, just because you have this fear does not necessarily mean there's not other things that you look forward to. There's always other things in a relationship that you look forward to. This is just a negative, just like everything else. It has pros and cons, but you can't let one con be the reason that you don't do anything. I would never.
So then, So then, what was your point of getting in a relationship? Then, precise. What was your point then of getting in a relationship?
What do you mean? What was my point?
I'm saying, why did you get in a relationship? Why?
The reason I got in a relationship was because for me, I just like doing certain shit, and I feel like having somebody around me that is a lot less fucked up mentally than I am is a good thing for me. And I don't feel like I would be a drain for them. So I feel like it would work out in both of our favor.
But you know you don't have to be in a relationship to do that.
Huh?
But you don't necessarily have to be in a relationship to have it with somebody.
But there's other reasons too, like, family, yada yada yada, marriage, yada yada yada. That shit. But I'm saying, like, aside from all that generic shit, I'm saying that was one of the reasons.
So then you can't necessarily say
I
then.
enjoy being around this person. I want to be around them as much as possible. I want to move in with them one day. I want to build a life with this person. I want to do X, Y, and Z
Sweeney.
with this person. I want to experience X, Y, and Z with this person.
We lost Sweeney.
Yeah.
So that don't sound like love to y'all people? But Precise trying to make it sound like he don't know what that shit is.
I'm not saying it's not love. I'm saying I feel like I don't have a full grasp of what that word means. That's all I said.
Precise, if you look up what the word means, that's what the word means. Everything that you describing is still a social construct based on what people think that word means. Or what they want it to mean. In terms of a relationship.
But I guess I don't think Trae understand what I'm saying.
You can't argue with logic, Precise.
No, I'm not arguing with logic. What I'm saying is, but people's meaning of that word is a rapidly evolving and changing thing.
So what are you describing the word then? What type of love are you referring to then? It still has to be something that you got from somewhere else. Or some mental image that you're projecting on the word. Because what are you talking about?
No. I'm saying love is this overarching word. There are a lot of different spokes on the wheel of love.
According to who?
Just according to everybody.
That's my point. And who was everybody?
I'm saying the word love, like the dictionary definition, is deep affection for somebody. Affection, again, is another broad term that can be used to describe a whole variety of things. How you show affection for somebody? You could show somebody affection by fucking asking them how they're doing and having a conversation. You can show affection by getting them something. You can show affection by, whatever.
Okay, so take it back. So take it back to what I said then. The natural love that you have for everybody and the respect that you have for everybody until somebody disrespects you. So what's that?
You said the natural
The natural love that you're already born with, want to see people do well, want to see people succeed, want to see people in good health, hoping everybody's doing their due diligence and what they're supposed to do. Versus what?
I wouldn't call that love.
Okay, so what is that?
I think that's just
What you gonna call it? Like?
no. I think that's just a caring about people. Like you can care about somebody and then not go deep as love.
Okay, so then you're basing love off of what?
I'm basing love off of the term, that what it's used, deeply affectionate, and knowing that there are different ways that you can be affectionate towards somebody. That automatically broadens the definition of the word that we are talking about.
So besides, you feel like I have a deep affection for Skittles?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But that's what the word means.
But I think when you take love and put it in a context, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you have a deep affection for Skittles. Like every time you eat them, it's a good feeling. I feel like that would be a spoke on the fucking love wheel. Some people have deep affection for sports.
So is it not a good feeling when
like
you can wake up and ask somebody how they're doing and they tell you good, they tell you about their accomplishments, and it gives you a good feeling to know that they doing good? That's not the same thing?
Well, it's like you don't have to. I'm not saying that is not. Basically, what I'm saying is you can do that and not be in love with that person.
Oh, you're referring to in love
that person. No, you can do that but not love that person. But you can love a person and do that. Like they don't have to necessarily go hand in hand.
So you're saying
because you feel like that towards somebody, and you oh yeah, I actually enjoy being around this person whenever I'm around them. That doesn't equal automatic love. That's you see what I'm saying? I think it goes deeper than that. You don't just because you care about somebody's well-being doesn't necessarily mean you love them. But typically, if you love somebody, that automatically puts you in the category of caring about their well-being, right?
So you don't care about anybody's well-being that you don't know.
That's not what I'm saying. I do care about their well-being. I don't want people to just be down bad as hell. But that's what I'm saying. That doesn't mean I love them now.
So you're
I can care about somebody's well-being without the love being attached to it because I don't know them. I can't be deeply affection. I can't show deep affection for somebody that I don't know. I don't know you. Right?
I think Precise got it, y'all.
I'm saying I could sit here and say, yes, I believe everybody in the US should have health care. And it doesn't matter what the fuck they got going on.
See, even this. Look at it. What is the true definition of love? And look what they put. Love is an intense, deep affection for another person. That's what they put.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like that's flawed?
Huh?
I'm saying you don't feel like that definition is.
I think it's a broad definition. That's why the term is used so fucking broadly, because that type of definition can apply to so many different situations. That's why I said love is not just a word that can be defined.
But I'm saying before you could even read, the first time you experienced love was pretty much from your parents, them hugging on you, kissing on you, telling you love them. They saying it, or you naturally mimicking it back as you're a baby, as you're a toddler, as you're coming up. So The book definition is not even your first definition of it. It's what already that you've been taught and what you've been seeing.
Right.
And then, and trust me, the very first time you experience a whooping, you're gonna feel like, oh hell no, this ain't love. For most logical people.
Right. Which and then in turn is another reason why it's more complicated, because so many people have so many different experience of what this word means. So then when you get older and you see the broad ass definition in the dictionary, you're like, oh yeah, I can apply that to my childhood. Yeah, that's what love is. And then you have 15 different childhoods doing that, and it all applies to all of them.
Okay, so then look up the word.
That cannot be strictly defined.
So look up the word complicate. To make something more difficult or confusing by causing it to be more complex.
What are you talking about?
Let me say it again. Complicate. To make something more difficult or confusing by causing it to be more complex. Meaning it's just not gonna happen on its own.
No. That's. I see what you're saying. That's the verb complicate. To complicate something. But I'm saying something that's complicated. That definition is consisting of many interconnecting parts or elements. Intricate. Yes, love is a very intricate word that can be used by many different definitions. And you can consider many different situations an act of love. And some people may see this as an act of love, but they may see this and be like, nah, that's not, I don't really see that as love. But somebody else can come around and say, nah, this is love. That's not love.
So then when you take opinions out of the equation, you're left with the facts. And the facts are simple. Because when you add opinions, you're going to complicate shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Love is an opinionated word.
Not according to what you just said.
Yes. It's a broad definition. It is open to interpretation.
Besides, you literally just said if a person has a problem with somebody leaving the house, it's complicated. It's really not. Hey, I kind of got an issue with you randomly leaving the house. Okay, so you want to come with me? No. Okay, you want to talk on the phone while I'm gone? No. So what are we doing? Well, I just feel like, you know what?
That's a complicated situation in itself anyway, because you have so many different things working against you as far as that. What if you have to go out and do something important and you can't be on the phone, or you can't take that other person with you, or some shit go down and you got to get off the phone?
Then that goes back to
things.
respect then. Because that and love go hand in hand. Because honestly, truthfully, you're supposed to respect your partner enough to tell them the truth. Hey, I'm finna go to this meeting. There's a chance I'm about to get my brains fucked out by my boss. So I'm just telling you. Now, is that something you're willing to deal with or no? Nah, well, Shawty, I can't deal with it. Okay, well, then I guess we're just gonna have to go our separate ways.
But again, you can be truthful to that person, but if that person has an innate feeling of an untrustworthy mentality towards you, it's just.
But that's not that other person's problem.
You can tell that person until you fucking blue in the face. When I leave the house, I do not be doing shit. That is not going to change how they feel about it, because their emotions are not something that they can just cut on and off like a light switch.
But see, it's not my job to change how you feel. Because like you said, that is a feeling. But the facts are facts. I went to the store, I came back. That's it. You deal with it how you want to deal with it. Simple.
Right. So for that other person, it's going to be a very complicated feeling. Because it's like, okay, there's only so much we can do about this feeling.
No. You see, even with that, you could simplify it. That's what you told me. I'm gonna take your word for it. If I find out different, I'm gonna put my foot in your ass. We got an understanding. Simple.
But again, Trae, that's not how feelings work.
See, precise. You keep going back to feelings. The feelings are not gonna be stationary anyway. So we're gonna get to the solution and keep shit simple. I have trust issues. I don't like when you just randomly leave the house. Okay, well, when I leave, I'm not doing nothing. Okay, well, you know what? I take your word for it. But if I come back and they can't
take their word. They can't take their word for it if they still feel how they feel.
You going into something else. Because you have to keep it simple.
It's not gonna fix the problem, Trae.
Precise. If you haven't even fixed the fucking problem for yourself, you can't expect somebody else to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. How do you fix that problem for yourself when you can't control your emotions?
Then you need to go talk to some fucking body. Because you should have control over your emotions.
That's something called
emotions are not controllable.
That's cap precise. Now let something just happens in the brain. Well, because that's still because you got somebody that could just bawl out crying when they find out a family member died. And then you got somebody else that could find out a family member died. And it's just like, well, you know, it was their time to go. So are you going to say that he don't have control?
But that's not controlling your emotions. That is two different emotions being portrayed in two different ways. That's what I'm saying. We have different types of sadness we can show. Just because somebody gets sad doesn't mean they're going to cry. Does not mean that at all. We can show sadness in other ways.
That's not what I just said. I'm saying if you start bawling uncontrollably, that is your emotions taking over, correct?
Yes, but that person can't just stop and say, you know what? Let me switch my emotions off. No, they're gonna feel like that until it gets better as time goes by. If it gets better as time goes by.
Then precise, you still missing the point. That's still out of somebody else's control.
Right. It's out of everybody's control.
Okay, so you can't project your shit off on anybody else. If you do that, you're complicating shit. If I wake up in a good mood and you wake up in a fucked up mood, now you walking around putting that energy on me, you complicating shit. Go be to yourself, get your shit together, then come back and present yourself to the table.
But that's what I'm saying. For that person that's going through that, there is no get your shit together. You don't know why you feel like that.
That's cap.
There's no.
That is cap. If you can't wake up and figure out why you feeling the way you feeling, then I just said it 10 minutes ago. You need to go fucking talk to somebody because obviously you have a chemical imbalance.
And if you have that chemical imbalance, going to talk to somebody.
Because I'm saying there are people that specialize in this. Hey, you're waking up too many days and just be flip flopping all over the goddamn place. I think you need to come in and get evaluated.
And then you get evaluated and you go home with 5 different prescriptions just to fucking get your emotions in check or get your attitude in check. That is still a complicated thing that you have to go through for that person.
AKA me.
But again, when you eating all this dead ass meat and putting all this other different shit in your body, yeah, you might be waking up fucked up.
But that's a whole different. But we breathing fucking terrible air. So I mean.
Exactly. So it's all fucked up. If you simplify it.
But we can't put a blanket over this. I'm saying emotions are not easy.
Precise. See, you keep making it about emotion. We're not talking about emotions. We're talking about the simplicity of keeping shit simple, even with emotions involved.
But you cannot keep emotions simple.
Hey, y'all, am I talking to Casper? Because it seems to be going right through fucking precise.
You said you can keep things simple even with emotions involved. If emotions are involved, you cannot keep it simple because that would include simplifying those emotions.
Okay, so break down then when it gets complicated. So your girl just left. Now these emotions built up in you. Now what?
The emotions being there, that's complicated.
Okay, so now what? Run me through the scenario.
Of the example that I gave. I'm saying, what are you talking about? What do you mean running you through the
So you're saying feelings are complicated. We're with you on that precise.
Yes.
But I'm saying, even with emotions being complicated, they can still be simplified.
But how do you simplify an emotion?
Because you already figured out what the fucking problem was. You just said you were just fine until your girl just walked up and left the house. So what did that trigger? That triggered a trust emotion. Oh, what is she doing? Where's she going? She didn't say anything. Now you all over the place.
No, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be that she didn't say anything. She could say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the store." She can tell you where she doing.
Okay, so she gave you the whole rundown about what she's about to do in 10 minutes. She's gonna be gone for 10 minutes. Okay, say you're still all over the place. Now what?
Yes.
Okay, what now?
Exactly. There's nothing you can do about that. There's no easy answer to a situation like that.
Okay. So then, when you, because you're saying it's complicated, but it's still a simple problem that's got you feeling that way. Your girl got up and left. That's your problem. Correct?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. Yes, the problem itself is simple. It's a reason that really should not, somebody leaving the house to go to the store, that should not be a problem.
But where did that stem from though? Did that stem from somebody else doing something to you? Or is that already something fucked up in you?
It doesn't even necessarily have to stem from that. It could stem from hearing about that shit.
I'm saying, yeah, it has to stem from something. So again, you're still complicating something by allowing something that's never happened to you to throw you off. You've never experienced it.
But no, it's not that you're complicating it. It's complicated.
Precise. How is it complicated and it's never happened to you?
Because
how are you feeling something that never happened to you?
Because if it is an emotion of fear of something happening to you, you have no control over it. You're not complicating it by feeling like this. No, it is a complicated situation because you feel like
okay, so say you deal with it.
Now it'd be different if we can control our emotions. Then yeah, you can say, "Oh, you're complicating this." But no, you're not doing any type of action to make this more or less confusing.
Okay, so say he feels like this, but he doesn't say anything to his partner. She come back, they all fine, they eat, they sleep, they fuck, whatever, they go to sleep, they wake up the next day, everything all good. He kept it simple by not saying anything because the emotion was already complicated. Correct?
Repeat what you said one more time.
So the emotion in itself is already complicated. But say he just dealt with it on his own here. He didn't say shit to his partner. She came back, they ate, they laughed, they watched the movie, they fucked, they went to bed, whatever the case. They woke up the next day, everything was fine. So even in that, he kept it simple by not saying anything.
No, he kept it simple for the other person by not saying anything. It's still very complicated.
Precise, what?
If you are dealing with something mentally, an emotion, that makes it complicated for you. You don't know why you feel like this. You don't know how to interact with the other person in order to portray.
Wait, but you just said he know why he feels like that. You just said it's a fear. It's a fear of, hey, I could probably get cheated on right now. So you know exactly why you feel the way you feel.
It's a fear that, but you don't understand why you are feeling this and why you have a fear.
Besides, you just explained why the nigga is feeling this, because like you said, it's been projected.
But if somebody goes to the store, they're not doing anything.
Okay, but that's them. But how you just explained it, the nigga knows exactly why he feel the way he feel, because that's the shit he's seen. He's heard it. His homeboys done went through it. So it's coming from somewhere, and he can pinpoint where.
Right. I'm saying the feeling, the emotion is coming from that. But them feeling like that towards their partner, there is no reason to, because their partner have done nothing wrong. They've done normal shit. So now you're in this complicated bubble where you have somebody doing normal shit, normal everyday shit that bothers you. You don't want to go to them because you don't want to feel like, oh, well, you know, I'm kind of tripping. But then you have to deal with it on your own. You have no way in which you can control this shit. You don't know how to deal with it. You don't know what to do. That is a complicated situation for that person.
And like I said, I'm going to go back to what I said originally, y'all, and stand on it by simplifying it. Hey, I'm going to just let you know, sometime when you leave the house, I have a little trust issue. I'm dealing with it the best way I can. So whatever you say you going to do or whatever you say you're doing, I'm going to just take your word for it. But if I find out something different, I'm going to put my foot in your ass. It don't get no simpler than that.
That's what I'm saying. That's for you. But you, like I said, somebody can tell somebody that they do not cheat on them until they are fucking blue in the face. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it does, because guess what? That means whatever you're saying from this day, we've had the conversation now. Everything is on the table. So anything you tell me that you done did from this point, I'm gonna take your word for it. Now, whether I believe you or not,
so you're saying words. So you're saying words. As long as somebody tells you what's going on, there is no reason to think differently. That's what you're saying.
No, you can think what you want to think, but logically, unless you can prove that person wasn't there, you don't have a choice. Unless you just gonna do some old hacking shit and track them all fucking day.
Okay, so hold on. So if somebody came up to you and was like, "Hey Trae, I want to go in your house. I just want to look around. I ain't finna take nothing or nothing. I just want to look."
No, I don't know you.
By that logic, okay, hold on. So by that logic, you can either go against the grain, as you say it, and don't allow that shit, or you can take them for their word. You already had the conversation, so if some shit go down, it's on them.
But I'm saying, Precise, that's way off the marker, because that's two different.
No, it's not. Because what the premise of what you're saying is, if that person tells you something, you have two options: either to believe it and keep it simple, or go against the grain and make it complicated. Those are your two options.
No, I am keeping it simple by saying no.
Huh?
Hey Trae, let me come in your house and look around. I ain't taking nothing. No. Go look in somebody else's house.
Right. So you show skepticism towards that person when they technically haven't done shit to you.
But Precise, they're still keeping it. They're still keeping it simple though. The answer is simply no, and I don't even have to give you no explanation for it. No.
See, I think you're misunderstanding what that was supposed to be. I'm not saying as far as the simplistic nature of the situation. I'm saying as far as the face value of words. Somebody can tell you anything, but if you don't believe the shit, you're not gonna believe it. There's nothing they can say to make you to believe shit if you don't believe the shit.
Okay, so put it back on the situation then, like I just said. If your girl tell you she going to the store, then you have no choice but to take it with face value. Okay, well, if you say you going to the store, then that's what you're saying. Unless I can prove that you didn't go to the store,
talking the damn shadow realm,
then I mean, there's no point in continuing the conversation.
But again, whether we continue the conversation or not, see, what you're saying is, if you don't continue the conversation, you're making it simple. No, I'm not making it simple. I'm making it simple for the other person maybe, but I'm still fighting this shit intrinsically. So no.
Okay, so
it's still
then what necessary steps are you taking to better deal with that problem?
That's the thing. With emotions, you don't know what steps you need to take in order to deal with problems. That's why they're so
That's
complicated.
capitalized.
There's no cut and dry answer.
Yeah, it is. You just not accepting it.
What's the cut and dry answer?
First of all, logically speaking, the cut and dry answer is everybody grown. Nobody owns anybody. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. That's the logical answer.
But if I feel some type of way about it, there's nothing that can be done.
But at the end of the day, that person is
figure out what needs to be done or what can help it.
Okay, but if you don't even know how to figure that out, then that means the next person is not gonna know how to figure that out. But you can simplify it by saying, first of all, this woman is grown. She can do whatever the fuck she want to do. She doesn't owe me anything. Now, as far as the respect level, I hope you respect me enough to tell me the truth about what you're doing. But if you don't, then there are gonna be certain consequences behind that. A, we're gonna just break up. Or B, I'm gonna just do what the fuck I want to do around here. Or even C, I'm gonna just track your phone or wherever you're going. Yeah, there's plenty of ways to deal with it.
But again, because we are talking about emotions, there is no easy way to deal with them.
It's not about easy. It's simple.
But yes, that's what simple means. That's literally what simple means. There is no easy way to deal with emotions.
Precise. Yes, there is.
You can't simplify something that you cannot control and that is very complicated.
Precise. You can very well control your emotions to a certain degree. Yes, you can. I don't know where you're getting this logic. If you can't control your emotions to a certain degree, then you have a fucking problem.
No, you can control how you deal with your emotions. You can control how you take the emotion and release it from you. If you're angry, you don't have to start throwing shit. You can be angry and sit there. You can control how you deal with emotions.
So you talking about the raw emotion in itself?
So I'm gonna be angry right now. That's not how it works.
No, I'm saying, so you just talking about the pure raw emotion.
Yes, I'm talking about the emotion that you have when that person leaves that house, or when that person is getting ready to leave that house. If that emotion is
yeah, the mic cut off because besides talking that bullshit.
the controller died. But if that emotion is going to happen and you are going to feel that emotion, you can't do shit about it. The only thing you can do is you can figure out how you go about that emotion, which again, there are a broad spectrum of things you can do. You can talk to that person. You can try to deal with it on your own. You can try to go get help. But that's still not simplifying the emotion. The emotion is still there. And there's no way to get rid of it unless you.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Besides, we talking about two. You still stuck on the emotion. I'm talking about keeping shit simple in the relationship. You're talking about the raw emotion. That's two different things.
But that's what I'm saying. A relationship consists of emotions. That is a part of a relationship.
No.
Emotion.
No, it's not. The relationship is just the establishment between two people. That's my cousin. That's the relationship. Period. That's my father. That's the relationship between me and
within that relationship.
Besides, you're not listening, bro. The relationship has nothing to do with the emotions. The emotions are things that you bring into the quote unquote relationship.
So they're a part of it.
This nigga precise.
If you bring it into the relationship, it's a part of it. It's a part of that relationship. Am I tripping, y'all? If you have in a relationship, and Trae just said, emotions are what you bring to the relationship.
I'm saying.
So that makes it a part of the relationship.
No. Meaning, whatever. As long as you're calling this person your girlfriend, then that's the relationship.
My nigga Sniper with the big 75 to the motherfucking Streamlabs. My bad, Sniper. My bad, G. I appreciate you, gang. How you doing, bro? Okay, continue, Trae.
The relationship is the relationship regardless. That's the definition. As long as you calling this person your girlfriend, that's the relationship between y'all two. Even after death, your father is going to be your father. That's the relationship between y'all two. Now, when you get to talking about things going on within y'all relationship, because it's two definitions: the state of being connected, and then it's how people deal with each other. So, again, even in that statement, I'm dealing with a complicated emotion. Me. But to precise his logic, he feels like there's no way to simplify that. And I feel like that's cap. Because he's making it about the raw emotion. Which again still goes back to my point. If you've never been around anybody that's got cheated on, if you've never seen it before, if you've never heard about it, or whatever the case, the day your girl wakes up and say, I'm finna go to the store, there's not gonna be one emotion that pops up into you. Why? Because you've never had to deal with it. You've never had to see it. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it smells like. So guess what? That emotion is not gonna even be in you.
Okay, so I understand parts of that, but let me. So first, I think the relationship between a father and a son or a mother and a son is different than a relationship between two people who are not blood related, because a relationship in that sense, it's like, yeah, you can fucking hate your daddy guts or your mom's guts, but at the end of the day, it's still your mother and father. Like, literally. Like, there's no...
Precise, you literally just repeated the same thing I just said. There's two definitions. There's the relationship of how you deal with each other, and then there's the relationship about blood and marriage.
But what I'm saying is, when you get in a relationship with somebody, I don't see somebody getting in a relationship with somebody who's not emotionally tied to that person. Like, of course, they're emotionally tied to that person in some way. So emotions definitely play a huge part in whether, if you have no emotion or don't show any type of emotion towards somebody, I don't see them, oh, let's get in a relationship even though we have little to no emotional tie to each other.
Okay, but
I don't see that as happening.
But usually when you get in a relationship with somebody, it's usually because y'all kind of going off the highs that y'all having. The good y'all making each other feel.
But it's still it's still emotion.
Right, but see, that's because it's being looked, because that's the simple shit early on. The butterflies, the sweet nothings, the cuddling, all that shit. Oh, but start adding bills. Start adding, oh, this is the type of shit that you do that makes me uncomfortable. Now shit getting complicated.
Right. This is the type of shit that you do to make me feel uncomfortable. That is a feeling. That is a motion that makes it complicated. That's what I'm saying. You're saying, oh, no. That is a feeling within one person. But no, that is a feeling within one person that is directly affected because of the actions of the other. That makes both parties involved in that emotional response.
But it's still a way to keep it simple. Because if you address the concern, okay, well, baby, I'll try to stop doing it. The conversation is over. Simple.
But you haven't fixed anything.
Well, technically you have because
You fixed nothing.
well, technically you have because if they address something that you did that bothered them, and then you apologize for it, and then you said, "Well, I'm gonna try not to do that," technically you have fixed it. Because for one, you gave them validation, or you gave them reassurance, like, "Oh, well, you know, I didn't mean to do that to you." So it kind of takes the tension off. Like, okay, oh, cool. Yeah, I try not to do that.
But that's what I'm saying. When we're dealing with a situation like that, it's not about the action that is done. It's about the feeling that the other person has. Because, like, I'll give you a perfect example. You can tell somebody, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I don't like when you do this action, right? And it's like, I don't like when you fucking don't hold the door for me in public. You know, you just kind of leave me behind. You don't walk with me. You kind of walk ahead of me, and it's kind of like we don't even fucking know each other, right?
But
Now,
that's an
that is a
easy
situation
fix.
But exactly, you know why it's an easy fix? Because it is an action that just needs to be changed in order to fix the problem. When you're dealing with something like as natural and as fucking essential to life as leave the fucking house, that is then a problem that has to be intrinsically fixed.
But that still has nothing to do
How
with
often
you.
that person leaves the house by themselves, because at the end of the day, leaving the house by themselves is what triggers that emotion. So yeah, that person can fucking do everything in their power to not leave the house by themselves, but it could be that one fucking day where they have to go out by themselves.
But precise, you going backwards, dog.
And you're not allowed to come. That emotion is going to come.
But you're
back.
going backwards because where are you getting those emotions from? You can't just this what I'm saying. You can't just naturally get an emotion like that.
Yes, you can.
Precise, no, you can't, because if it's a trust issue, then where did you even learn that? Where did you even see that? Oh, it's bothering me that this person just got up and left the house.
You don't have to learn it. It can just be we all know about possibilities. We all know that things are possible.
But hold on, but if you've never experienced it, if you don't even know what the word cheating means, if you don't know what none of that, then how can you experience it?
You don't have to experience it, but you can still be in fear of it.
How when you don't even know what it is?
What cheating is. You may not know what it is to experience, but you can still know. I'll give you a perfect example. If you got dropped off in the fucking woods somewhere, and it was a fucking area that was fucking secluded from the rest of, you know, civilization over there, right? And then, like, it wouldn't be crazy to me for somebody to be like, oh shit, I could get murdered out here.
Oh, hold on, but how?
No,
but wait,
do you feel like that? You've never been.
No.
You don't know.
But you already have to experience what a murder is for you to even say that.
But you don't have to experience it through or you don't have to experience it in order to understand what it is.
So precise. So that still goes back to what I'm saying. That emotion is going to come from somewhere. So if you're going to chalk it up to fear, you still have to simplify it the best way you can. You can't project your fear off on anybody else.
But that doesn't make it any less complicated whether you do or don't.
Whether it's complicated or not, you have to simplify it the best way you can.
And when you're dealing with something like emotions, it's not a way
Besides,
to
you
simplify
keep
it.
talking about emotions because the emotions are what have you feeling the way you feel. Yes, that's not the point. Because you have to recognize where those emotions are coming from. So if you are in the middle of the woods and you feel like, damn, I could get murdered out here. How do you know what murder is? Tell me.
By knowing what words are? I don't know.
Precise. So you mean to tell me you can look up the word murder and you're going to know what it means?
Yes.
So without ever seeing a picture of a murder, without ever hearing somebody say, "Oh, if somebody killed somebody, that's murder," you just gonna know what it is by looking in the book.
Well, I'm saying you get taught the definition of stuff like murder.
Okay, so they put some mental image in your head, correct?
Yeah.
Okay then. So it's coming from somewhere.
No, that's not how that works.
Precise. If nobody ever tells you what a murder is,
Just because somebody knows what cheating is, that does not mean that emotion is evoked strictly.
Precise. Did you not hear what I said when I said from the jump street? If you don't experience something, if somebody don't tell you what it is, if you never seen it, you're not going to be able to experience that emotion because you've never seen, heard, or saw anything of that nature.
But that's with anything. That's literally with anything.
Hey, Sweeney, am I making any goddamn sense?
You're not gonna understand how to tie your shoes if nobody tells you. Like I don't understand what that means. Yeah, you can know
because you're trying to say the trust issue that this man is experiencing is complicated when in actuality it's really not. Because it's still coming from something that has either been told, that he's seen, or that he's experienced. It's only one of the three. Because if he hasn't ever seen it, if he's ever been told about it, if he's never experienced it, then he's not going to even know what it is.
What?
Hey, y'all. At this point, Precise got to be drunk.
No, that's not making any fucking sense.
If this man, you saying this man has a trust issue. What I'm saying is that has to stem from something he's either seen, been told, or experienced.
But that is with anything. That is literally with anything.
Okay then. So what I'm telling you is you're trying to say that the emotion itself is complicated when it's not. You know exactly why you're feeling what you're feeling if a trust issue comes up because your girl left the house. You know exactly where that's coming from. So maybe you're not using the right sense of the word or using the right example because that's not the right one.
No. There is no reason. If there is no reason to feel like that.
You just said it's fear.
And you are doing it. If you are doing it strictly off of a fear of something, it's not a
valid reason, but it's still a reason.
It's exactly what it is. It's a fear of something.
Okay, but fear is not complicated.
But there doesn't have to be an underlying reason for why you have that fear.
But fear is not complicated.
It's an emotion, so it is complicated.
Sweeney, can you please put some...
Am I not making sense, y'all? Any emotion that you show is complicated because it is an emotion. You cannot control it. You cannot fix it.
I'm with you on the controlling part, but you cannot say it's complicated when you know exactly why you're feeling the way you feel. Hey, there's a chance that she could be out there cheating on me. You just explained why you feel the way you feel. So that's not complicated. You just simplified your own fucking problem.
No, it's complicated because now you have to learn how to deal with it. You have to learn how to.
Okay, you had to learn how to walk. You had to learn how to eat. You had to learn how to feed yourself. That's life. That's simple.
But learning how to eat and learning how to walk and learning how to deal with your emotions are three totally different things. And I really hope you trolling when you said that. You are comparing learning how to walk.
If somebody takes a piece of bread and puts it in their mouth, and then you try to do the same thing and mimic it, how the fuck is that complicated?
You said what?
Even when you learn how to eat, you learn how by watching other people. You learn how by trying it yourself, taking your little fingers, sticking them in your little Cheerios, and then trying to put them in your mouth. Now, maybe you didn't get it at first, but eventually, guess what? You got it.
But right. But it's kind of like emotions are intrinsic and aren't something that we can really see.
Okay,
which makes them even more complicated.
You can't see the.
You can feel emotion,
right?
And you can learn.
You can't see the fear, but you know why you're feeling the fear. You just explained it. The fear is your girl is out there getting fucking took to Pound Town.
Oh God.
But if that is not what's happening...
Oh, see, you're going off the point. It don't matter if it's happening or not. The fear is, I think my girl...
Listen...
I told y'all, this nigga Precise is too smart for his own good.
Hold on. If your girl done did that shit before...
That's not the case, so you can't say that.
I understand I feel like this because it's happened before.
But you can't say that. That's not what you said at first.
That is what I
No, you didn't.
I said if you don't experience it and there's no reason that you can pinpoint for why you feel like this. If you haven't experienced it, it makes it more complicated because now you have to figure out where these emotions are coming from. You have to figure out how to deal with this emotion that's coming from whatever the
Precise. You already said where they're coming from. They're coming from the fear of your girl getting took to Pound Town. There's nothing to figure out.
It's a fear. Right, a fear of something that can happen. That means it has not happened.
Okay, hold on.
That means you have no experience.
But go back to
that means it's something that doesn't exist.
But go back to the why you think it could happen. Why do you think it could happen?
Exactly, that's the problem.
Okay, so answer the question.
There are many reasons why you think it could happen.
Okay, so
that makes it more complicated. You can feel like you're not good enough. You can feel like they found something better. You can feel like they don't really fuck with you in the first place anyway. There are many reasons that makes it more complicated. That's why that emotion is not so cut and dry.
So, Sweeney, do you agree or disagree that when you start going through a list of shit like that, you're complicating your own damn self? Agree or disagree? We lost Sweeney.
I'm still here. I'm thinking about
it. Hey, Jack, you a female.
No, you're not complicated.
Jack.
By asking what the fuck is going on.
Jack, can you, what is going on? Jack, who make it more sense here? I feel like emotions are complicated if you make them. This nigga Precise is saying, no, they're complicated. That just is what.
Okay.
Emotions are something that you cannot control.
Correct.
Can pop up at random for different reasons, and sometimes you cannot pinpoint the reason.
Well, no, it's not necessarily going to be at random, Precise. From the example that you just gave, that's not random.
It is random because you are in fear of something that is A, never happened to you before, and B, may have a possibility, but you have no reason to think that. You have no probable cause for even thinking.
All right, okay, let's
body goes against how you feel like you should feel about the situation, and you have that emotion.
Let's keep it simple then. Hold on, wait, Sweeney. I just walked out with a brand new pair of rare fucking Ja Morant ones. And as soon as I walk outside, a nigga takes his dirty ass Air Force One and steps on the top of my goddamn shoe and scuffs my brand new goddamn shoes. I'm angry. Is that complicated? Because I know exactly why I'm angry. I just walked out of this motherfucking store and spent $400 on these goddamn kicks, and this bum just came and scuffed my brand new motherfucking sneakers up. Is that complicated, yes or no?
Right. The emotion that was granted to you was based off of something that you experienced directly. That is not the same thing as what we're talking about.
So wait. So Precise is saying
that was a great analogy for something that directly happens to you. If that person cheated on you before and you have that emotion, but that is a terrible analogy for what we are talking about, which is you don't have that experience. You don't really have a necessarily strong reason for feeling like this, yet you still feel like this. For whatever fucking reason.
But you have the power at the end of the day to keep it simple.
You can't simplify something that's complicated.
Precise, because you keep talking about the emotion in itself. We talking about the action behind the emotion. And the action is what goes into the relationship.
But the emotion is also in the relationship. If you feel some type of way because somebody went and did something, that is a part of the relationship.
But guess what? If you don't say nothing and they don't know about it, then guess what? The day goes on.
But the day goes on, but it's still complicated for you. You fixed nothing. You fixed absolutely nothing.
What was there to fix? What was there to fix if everything went smooth?
I'm saying, if you have that emotion and you don't say anything, that emotion was still there. And that emotion is going to pop back up once they leave the house again. You have fixed nothing. You just didn't say anything.
You didn't fix something in yourself.
The lack of action doesn't mean you made it simple.
Okay, but there's something within yourself that you need to work on. That don't come down to the other person. And I feel like some shit like that, once you say something,
it affects the other.
Once you say something, you gonna fuck the algorithm up because that shit don't have nothing to do with the other person. And it's just simple as that.
I don't think Trae understands what I'm saying.
Precise. That's because you're only talking about the emotion in itself.
I didn't. I brought up both parts. I brought up the emotion and how you deal with it. I literally said 10 minutes ago.
Precise. You do know that you can deal with things either simply or complicated. You do know that, don't you?
But if there's no simple way, but if you're trying to deal with a complicated situation, how are you going to get a simple answer from it?
All right.
It's a complicated
situation. Hey, Sweeney, put it like this.
It's a complicated thing.
Sweeney, put it like this. Even the issue of, hey, damn, man, this controller fucked up. Now I got every time I want to play the game, I got to switch this shit. I got to hit this button. I got to hit this button on the Streamlab instead of what? Simply going to buy another controller. Now, which one you think logically people going to do?
That is a cut. Right. That is a cut and dry situation. It's literally go buy a controller or keep dealing with this controller. You can't do that with an emotion. That's not how it works.
What?
Well, in that case,
you can't say either I want to feel this emotion or I don't. That's not how it works. The feelings are gonna come to you, and you can. Now, how am I gonna deal with this?
Hold on. You're still feeling an emotion by dealing with frustration every time you got to play a certain game. You're still dealing with an emotion, buddy.
No, but the product of the emotion is in an action that can be fixed.
So if you're dealing with something that is not necessarily going to be fixed with an action and it's still something in you or within you, then that's still not the other person's problem.
No, what I'm saying is the controller being fucked up is the reason you feel like how you feel. If you go get a new controller, you can fix that. It was something that triggered you to feel like that. The action of having to keep fucking around with the controller made you fuck it. I'm gonna go get a new controller.
Well, guess what? When you say it like
your
that,
emotions are not like that because you are automatically first of all, you're in fear of something that has not happened. You can't fix something that hasn't happened.
But the example that you just gave, Precise, you can always go get a new bitch that asks you before she leave the house. That could be his solution.
But that doesn't change anything.
Yeah, it does.
It's not the action of you. No, because it's not the action of you asking or knowing if they leave the house. I just said people can know that they left the house. It still doesn't change the emotion because if they feel some type of way when the person leaves the house by themselves, that is what's going to stick with them.
Okay, go get you a bitch that stay on the phone with you every time she leave the house. And she don't care what the reason is to get off the phone. If her boss say, well, you can't be in here, she just quit the job and she go find somewhere else to work. He can go get him a bitch like that. That'll solve his problem. Simple.
But again, that's unreasonable. That's unlucky.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It's simple.
That is not problem.
But it's simple though.
It's not simple. Hold on, it's not simple.
You see how? See, you can't win with
That's
precise.
simple.
He got an answer for everything.
Hold on, wait. He just said it would be more simple. It would be more of a simplistic answer if you go out and look for somebody who would jeopardize their job based off of how you feel. That's what he said. It'll be simpler to break up with the girl you have now over a feeling that A has not happened, or over something that A has not happened, and B you just have a fear of, instead of actually trying to fix it. Fuck that. Just go find somebody. That's simpler. No, that's not.
That's your opinion.
Well, I mean, well, simpler doesn't
that
always.
is not. Hold on.
Besides, you can't say no.
simpler
Everything is
doesn't
opinion
always
based.
mean easy.
That's your opinion at the end of the day.
No, but I'm saying that is not a simpler answer.
That's your opinion.
That is a complicated answer in itself. So you don't feel like going out and finding somebody who's right for you that'll do that shit complicated? You think that's easy? Is that simple? Is that easy?
Hey, if it is to him, then it is to him.
Easy. But it's not
That's your opinion.
an easy thing.
That's still your opinion.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, so how many people do you think would throw their job away for that shit?
Man, it's folks that threw their job away for way less. It's folks that literally call in to lay up under a nigga. So I don't know what rock you living under, but yeah, that happens every day.
No. So what I'm saying is, it is. So what Trae is saying is, it's simple. It's more simple, or not even more simple, because again, I think they're both complicated solutions to this problem. Trying to deal with your emotions, or trying to find somebody where you don't have to deal with your emotions, even though it's probably better to deal with the emotions, because there will be situations where you're not going to be able to have, that type of
Sweeney.
reaction. But let's just go off this crazy ass analogy. So it is simple for you to leave the relationship you in, go build a relationship with somebody else in hopes that they are like that. And if they're not like that and you find out, then you have to break it off with them, go find somebody else in hopes that they're not like that. And hopefully eventually you get to somebody who's like that. But then even though they're like that, you have to make sure that everything else in the relationship is straight. Like, no.
Well, no. At that point, that's something you would bring. No,
answer.
at that point, that's something you would bring to the table. Look, I don't like when my girl randomly leave the house. So if you one of them, we not even gonna continue any further. And you say, well, no, I ain't like that.
No. But that's what I'm saying. Randomly leaving the house is not the problem. The problem is leaving the house by yourself.
Well, okay. Well, take it back to what I said then. If a girl leave the house and don't be on the phone with me, I'm not dealing with it. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll call you every time I leave the house. Oh, okay, cool. What's next?
And then the one time that it does not happen because you have not dealt with the actual feeling of what's going on, it's gonna be haywire. It's gonna be a fucking problem.
Okay. So when that
like
comes
you're
about,
supposed to.
you address it. Hey, we talked about this. Oh yeah, baby, you're right. That's my fault.
Yeah,
It won't happen again. If it
I was gonna
does,
say.
she knows she getting the boot.
No.
Besides, you can't say no.
No, because that's not fixing the problem.
So talking as adults ain't
If you
fixing
can
the
still
problem?
evoke that
This
emotion,
nigga
that is
psych
not
drunk.
fixing the problem. You are masking the problem.
Well, no, precise. He's saying
The point of it is you fix the problem intrinsically, however you feel like you need to, go through the complicated steps of figuring out how the best way to deal with it is. That way, if the shit happens again, you won't have that emotion.
What do you mean the complicated steps?
To mask the shit.
Why are you saying it's complicated?
Because dealing with emotions is a complicated. It's complicated in nature.
No, it's not.
well, precise.
How is it not?
Because if you're able to identify what's causing you to feel that way, that's step one already out the door. So you either remove what's causing you to feel that way, or you find a better way to deal with it.
I keep trying.
But that's what I'm saying. Are we really finna sit here and act like, a realistic solution to that problem is finding somebody that will call you every single
Precise.
time.
I already gave you the real simple solution to it. A trust issue with no. You can say something. Look, hey, I have a trust issue when you leave the house.
Yeah, all it takes is a simple adult talk.
Okay, so but again, at the end of the day,
it doesn't change how you feel. It doesn't matter.
See, that's what Precise is getting stuck on.
To you 500 times.
It's not.
It does not matter.
There's no room to say it 500 times.
If something happened to your mama and somebody was like, oh well, you know what, you really don't need to be sad because moms wouldn't like that. She would want you to move on with your life. Is that gonna fucking fix it? No, it's an emotion. You have a raw emotion towards something that happened. That is how emotions work. You can't control them. A conversation is not going to fix something because essentially what you're saying is after I had this conversation, I should be able to just switch that emotion off. Oh, I shouldn't have to.
I get that. That's
we had one of them grown-up talks and I feel bad.
Bro, that's what the misconception is coming in at. You're having the conversation to get off how you feel and move forward. Now, if you leave the conversation still feeling the way you feel and dwelling on the food, you're the fucking problem.
Which is what I'm saying.
That's not what you're saying.
Based off of, I literally said, again, earlier, I don't know if you haven't been listening to what I said, I literally said earlier, if you have an intrinsic problem with something somebody else is doing that is very normal in life, that becomes your problem.
Okay, but then that's still you complicating
shit. Make it any less complicated on how to deal with it.
No, that's you. That's you as a person complicating shit. However you want to slice it.
It's not, because it's an emotion.
Precise. That's your opinion. If we take a poll on it.
Hold on. No.
Don't worry about it.
No, that's a fact.
Okay.
No, that's a fact.
Okay, we'll take a vote on it.
You can take a poll on anything, but we're dealing with words with definitions. So if people don't know what the fuck the definition of the word is, then the poll means nothing. I don't give a damn about a poll. I'm talking about words and what they mean. You keep on saying complicating. I'm saying you're using the word complicate to complicate something. You even looked up the wrong word that I was using. I said it was complicated. I didn't say you complicated.
But complicate.
Those are two different words that have two different meanings. When you complicate something, that means that you are in control and you make it more difficult.
Look, you can't get complicated without the word complicate. So if you complicate something, now the situation is complicated.
But not every situation that's complicated was because somebody complicated it. That's not how words
Precise.
work.
Once the emotion kicks up in you, that's a complication already because you don't know how to deal with your own fucking emotions. So my thing to you is once you project that shit onto the relationship when you don't even know how to deal with it your fucking self, that is you in that moment complicating shit.
No. When the emotion comes up, it is already complicated.
I just said
how you deal with it. No. How you deal with it is going to be complicated as well.
Sweeney, it's not what I just said.
Now, if you were to sit there and yell and, oh no, I don't want you leaving the house, blah, blah, blah. If you making it worse for that person, I would consider that complicating the situation. You're not fixing anything. You're not trying to get to the bottom of anything. But if you are having an emotion that is complicated and you go out and you try to find ways in order to fix it, that is not complicating the shit. That is being proactive based off of a complicated emotion that you have. That is being evoked from the certain action that is being given. Whatever the fuck it is.
I agree on the proactive part, being proactive on figuring out like the root of the problem for emotions. But at the same time, I do Trae's words of emotion, because to a degree, because we can't completely eliminate emotions, like just in general. Like what I mean by that is like you said, we can't just switch on and off between happy, sad, annoyed, hungry, etc.
Sweeney, Precise literally
But-
just repeated what I just said. In his own way.
No, what you said was if you don't know how to deal with your emotions, that is you complicating it. That's not what you're doing.
Well,
Because emotions are not supposed to be easy dealt with because they're complicated in nature.
And that's still
Well,
your opinion
right.
because no, they're not.
Hold on, I'm gonna read y'all the definition of complicate. To complicate something means to make something more difficult or confusing by causing it to be more complex. So that is when you take a situation that can be simplified and you make it complex and you make it more fucking intricate than it has to be. When you are dealing with a complex situation, just because it's already the complexity of emotion is already there does not mean that because you have an emotion that's complex, you don't know how to deal with a complex situation. That means you're adding more complexity. No, you know what? Because I feel like it's going over some people's heads. Let's look up what the word complex means. Because we really got to go down the definition game.
well, Precise. Before you do, let's just
Complex
say
means consisting of many different and connected parts.
Ma, you're
like
Is
I
an
was gonna say-
emotion is an emotion complex? Yes or no?
it depends on
Are emotions as we know it complex? Yes or no?
if you're dealing with multiple emotions, yes, but if you're only dealing with one, that's not complex.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
You can't control that emotion.
Precise. It's
Well,
not about
well,
controlling the
Precise.
emotion. It's either simple or it's complex. If you're dealing with one emotion at one time, that is not complex. It's not about control.
Yes, it is because. So hold on. So you don't think it is complicated to try to understand and grasp the concept of something that you cannot
Precise.
control?
You're going somewhere else. If you're dealing with one emotion, that is not complex.
like
If
say-
you're
Say-
dealing with a trust issue, that is one emotion. That is a fear. That is simple.
But it gets complex because where's that fear coming from? Why do I have this? Why is it
Precise.
So
You
strong?
already
What can I
know
do to
where
fix
it's
it?
coming from because you already
What can
said
another
where it's
person
coming
do,
from.
if possible?
There's no need to.
You
There's no
have
need to
to
figure
get
out
hard
where
with
you
that one
are.
emotion.
You already said where it's coming from. There's no need to figure that out anymore.
No, it's coming from something that hasn't even happened.
right, but Trae saying you know what that situation is, even though it hasn't happened.
But you know it. Oh my God. Understanding what cheating is and having a raw emotion. We know what fucking death is, right? But typically, we're not just gonna fucking sit there and start crying because somebody across the world that we didn't fucking know died.
Some people do. So,
That's why I said typically.
but I'm saying, but are you going to say something is wrong with that person?
No, I'm saying typically we don't do that. But again, that's another aspect of why emotions are so complicated.
But hold on. But like you said though, that doesn't mean that you don't get sad about it. Like, damn, that's fucked up, man. Somebody lost their life.
Right, which is my point. You don't have to. What I'm saying is, you don't have to experience the shit in order to understand that it exists.
So that means you know where it comes from. So there's nothing you're figuring out.
So understanding that it exists does not mean that is the reason that you have a fear of it.
Well, if it didn't exist, what would you have a fear of?
Sweeney, thank you.
No, what I'm saying is not that it doesn't exist. I'm saying just knowing that that it exists.
Jack, thank
That
you.
does not mean that is the stem of where it came from.
So precise, but you already
it
explained where it came from.
It didn't come from anywhere because it hasn't fucking happened.
Precise, you confusing your damn self. It had to come from somewhere. Because if you don't know the definition of cheating, if you've never
cheated on you and you are worried about them cheating on you, it has come from nothing. Nothing happened.
Precise, it has to come from somewhere.
It's from a fear.
Don't you think it could come from the idea of them cheating that makes them afraid, not necessarily a past experience of someone cheating?
Exactly. So if nothing happened that in turn made you feel like that, it is harder to deal with that emotion. You are worried about something that hasn't even fucking happened. Are we not going to sit there and act like that? That's not
precise. You're contradicting yourself by what you're saying.
No. Listen to the premise of what is being said. You can have an emotional response to something that has literally never fucking happened to you before. That has never fucking happened near you before. But based off of just knowing that situation, you can still have a strong feeling about the shit, and it just be nothing's even fucking going on.
I mean, it's no different than living, like I said, in a bad neighborhood or something. Of course, you have a fear every time you probably walk outside, but what do? You take the necessary precautions. You keep your gun on you. You keep your windows and doors locked. You keep you know what I'm saying? You just take the steps. You simplify the shit.
That's not simplifying. That's dealing with it. But again,
this nigga precise is the fucking professor. Again, I don't know what to say.
Hold on. No. Those are actions that can be taken towards that thing. But at the end of the day, you're still in a fucking bad neighborhood.
Okay, so the action was you had a conversation with the woman that you're with. You told her
bad neighborhood. You still have to be worried about what the fuck is happening around.
Okay, so you have a conversation with your significant other. You tell her the consequences of, hey, if it comes back that you be lying about what you're doing, we're gonna have a problem. Simplified.
That's not simplified.
That's your opinion.
Well, simplifying the problem doesn't mean completely solving the problem.
Correct. No, but you kept it as simple as you could, right, Sweeney?
To minimize
complications.
Damage.
That's not.
Sweeney, what do they do when you give birth? Nobody's saying that you're gonna not experience all the pain, but guess what? We're gonna shoot your ass with this epidural to make it easier and less complicated.
Or they do the C-section just to make sure that body doesn't get damaged.
Right, or you give the fuck out on the delivery room table. Simplify.
That's what I'm saying.
I was a C-section.
Simplify that. You can't simplify something like that because if you have either you have the emotion or you don't. If you have the emotion, emotions are complicated. So if you have that emotion, it's already
see that I think that's where the disconnect coming in this conversation. Precise feels as though emotions are complicated. We're saying that they're not, so we're not gonna. It's not gonna mesh.
If scientists, if people who do this shit for a living can't even fucking fully grasp the concept of fucking emotions, I know none of you niggas can. We're not gonna sit here and act like
that's two different things you talking about, Precise. A chemical imbalance that has your emotions off for whatever reason is two different things.
No, it's not. The concept of emotions are not clear to us as a fucking society. So none of you niggas can tell me, oh, well, the emotions are not complicated. You just complicate them and they're really quite simple. No. What's simple or what you feel like is simple in certain instances, you can simplify the situation based on how you deal with those emotions. But when you're dealing with an emotion that stems from literally something that has never happened, as you've never been through, and it's simply just a fear, that makes it harder to deal with that emotion. Because you have no roadmap on how to fix the shit. You have nothing.
But that doesn't make the emotion in itself complicated even more though. It's still a simple emotion.
Huh?
It's fear.
Well, let me ask a question. Do you think, not every time, but in certain instances, do you think the situation, no matter what the situation is, can make emotions more, let's say, let's go with complicated or just more confusing? Because like, say like your great grandfather died that lived to say 95 or whatever. Like, he had a good life and you met him, you did stuff with him, and like you overall felt happy around him. But then when he's gone, now now it's like, okay, I can I could either let my emotions take over and just let it all out, or I can try to keep myself
Sweeney,
in
what the fuck are you
control.
talking about, dog?
Well, because I was saying, do you think certain situations can make simple emotions more complicated?
That's the thing. That's the disconnect. There is no such thing as a simple emotion.
See, that's where the disagreement coming in, Sweeney. It's still opinion based.
You can have one emotion, but that doesn't make it simple. That doesn't mean it's
Yes,
simple.
it does.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it make it more simple than dealing with more than one emotion?
No, that's not how that works.
Huh?
That's not how that
Hey, Glow,
works.
he's locked in on his opinion, and he's entitled to having it because
I'm
it's not
saying,
making no sense.
no, Sweeney, that's not how that works. You can't say, oh well, this is better than this, so it must mean that it's a plus. No, 5 people dying is technically worse than 4 people dying, but I would consider both of them being pretty fucked up. So you can't say, oh well, one emotion is less complicated than having 2 emotions, so that must mean it's not that complicated, and you can simplify it. No, you're dealing with a complicated and fucking just complex situation, and having more, you can add complexity to it, but it's adding complexity to a situation that's already complex.
Okay, so hold on, back up. So explain how this situation that you're talking about with the dude and the trust issues. So explain how his fear is complicated.
His fear is complicated because he has a fear of something that has not happened and that he should not, well, I won't say he should not be worried about, but there's not even anything that the other person can do to stop that fear because they have done nothing wrong. 1, 2, he has to figure out how to stop the shit. And again, trying to understand where a fear is coming from like that, when you have no experience with it whatsoever, is a lot more difficult than dealing with a past trauma.
So hold on. So explain. So if he's never dealt with cheating, then explain how he knows what it is.
And how can he have a fear of it?
What?
No, I'm going off your logic, precise.
God,
How does he explain to me how he knows what cheating is? Then
the same way he knows what a fucking airplane is and he's never been on one.
so somebody told him.
Because we live in a world where we are surrounded by information that we can learn things and have no fucking connection to them whatsoever. There are people that have never fucking been.
So how does
information work?
So how does her leaving the house then directly relate to cheating?
Because they have this fear that when they leave the house by themselves, it could be any fucking thing. Like I said, they fear that the person is looking for somebody or runs upon somebody better than them. They feel like they're not good enough. They feel like that person is secretly searching. That person is secretly out there doing shit because there's no way that this person will really be with me. There's so many different mindsets that can go with that type of mentality.
Right. So hold on. So like you said, so as long as they're in the house up under each other or in the house, it's good. But as soon as she leaves the house, that's when this shit kicks in.
That's what in this situation. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So not a minute before she leaves the house, so he don't feel this emotion no other time until she leaves the house.
No, the emotion, like if she say, "Oh yeah, I'm getting ready to go," then it starts to creep up.
But what about if they're just out together and then she sees a dude and she creeps her eyes over and then all of a sudden you're thinking, dude, why was she looking at him like that?
Sweeney, again, what the fuck are you talking about, dog?
Basically, what
back to
Sweeney
that
is saying
cheating
is, does that
standpoint.
same fear kick in even when they're out together?
I'm saying the fear of that happening is lessened because that person is with them.
But it's still there.
Well, it depends on the situation. In this situation, I kept it as cut and dry as possible. Where that person typically only experiences it when that person leaves the house by themselves.
So wait. So I don't want to say that this is your thinking. Don't think I'm assuming anything. But from what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, and so basic fear, basically, I want to say has more meaning when it's already happened to you. Like it's
What?
more of a fear.
But because
Hey,
people,
Westbrook, I ain't gonna lie. I don't mean to cut you off, Sweeney. I ain't gonna lie. Are you slow or fucking or just dumb? This nigga said, "How do you have a fear of something when it's never happened?" What?
no, I
can have a fear when it hasn't
No,
happened.
I know you or Trae are not arguing that. It's this dumbass right here that's arguing that. So let's explore that a little more. So you're saying a person who has a fear of being fucking murdered in the woods, that's not a legitimate fear because it's never happened to them before? Do you really want to go down there? I think you should shut the fuck up.
He must be imprecise.
I really think you need to shut the fuck up because you don't
I'm
even
telling
understand what's
y'all.
going on.
Precise is just too smart for his own good sometimes. He contradicting himself.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is when you deal with emotions are a complicated, complex, intricate piece of life.
Precise. That's
Don't
why
understand.
that's why the conversation stops there, because that is still opinion based. You feel like emotions are
No.
complicated. I don't feel like they are.
No, we don't. When I say emotions are complicated, we cannot control our emotions. We don't fully understand why we feel like how we feel all the fucking time.
Precise.
That's why you have
Control
We
does
don't-
not
we-
equate
if
to complicated
emotions
or
was
simple.
people wouldn't have depression because they can just cut that shit off.
But that's out
You know
of their
what? I don't wanna be
control.
sad.
But that does not make the emotion complicated.
So how can you simplify something that you have no control over?
So why is it so easy for them to smoke weed and then everything is all good?
Well, no. No. You don't have
Because
control over the emotion itself.
You're not simplifying the problem. You're not fixing the problem. You're masking it.
So if you have a chemical
from that high, guess what? That emotion coming right back.
Okay, so if, like you said,
masking.
if you're depressed for no absolute reason, are you chalking it up to a chemical imbalance, or are you just gonna say, oh, their emotions are complicated?
That's what I'm saying. There are all types of forms of depression.
Okay, so keep it simple. Somebody that's never went through nothing has always had a good Christmas, good Thanksgiving, parents together, good household, good man, all that, and they're still fucking depressed. What do you chalk that up to? Got good friends around them,
AKA,
good experiences.
AKA me.
I don't know. I don't know what you chalk.
Okay then. So
Because even in that situation, there are a bunch of ways that somebody can still take negativity from that.
but that's not what makes the emotion in itself complicated. We're talking about the raw depression.
I would argue that it's more complicated if you have less to be depressed about and you still are.
All right. All right. So since we're on the topic of depression, this is actually a really good time for me to jump in because this is a topic that I
Jackson, I
have
give him.
plenty of experience with.
But besides, I mean,
And-
see, Sweeney, we off subject now. See, I'm saying, and that's why I say it's still a matter of opinion.
Well, not exactly, because depression is still under the category of emotions. Because while you're
No,
dealing with
depression is not
depression,
an
you're
emotion.
still. Well, it falls under the category with emotions because you're still dealing with sadness or annoyance or
No,
isolation.
No. Depression.
Sweeney, you see this?
Is,
You're the one that deals with
No.
depression, and then precisely trying to logicalize what your depression is to you. That's why I said this is pointless now.
No, that doesn't. Hold on. That doesn't mean shit. Just because you go through shit doesn't mean you understand what the fuck is going on, and you don't have to go through shit to understand what's
I
going on.
am done. Hey, Sweeney.
Are you serious?
no.
Sweeney, you got it, dog.
Wait. Hold on. So somebody who is in a poor neighborhood. Hold on. Wait.
oh shit, his mic cut out.
Yeah, I'm done, man. I'm done.
Somebody who's in a poor neighborhood. They know how to fix their problem.
This nigga Sweeney has been clinically assigned depression. This nigga precise said, no, that's not no.
No. Wait, but hold on. But the person who has been clinically fucking diagnosed with depression just fucking said depression is an emotion. That's wrong.
No,
That is not
no,
what depression is.
Depression
I
is a
said
range of
all
emotions,
with-
correct?
Depression deals with emotions, and you can have manic episodes through depression. My father has depression. I live
Yeah,
with somebody
I
who has
said-
depression. Oh my God, that means I know more than somebody who hasn't. That's not how it works.
Depression is a range of emotions, right? You can be up, down, left,
No,
right.
Depression. No. Depression is a
Disorder.
and it's a
Well,
it's a disorder. Yeah.
there are different disorders with
There are
depression.
different types
yes.
of depression, but depression is something that, because he said fucking sadness and anger. You can be happy and still be depressed. That's what I'm saying. Just because this nigga goes through the shit does not mean he understands what the fuck depression is.
What is the true
Just
meaning
like
of depression?
somebody who's in a poor
Depression is
neighborhood doesn't understand the solutions to get them out of that shit. That's not how
Hold-
it works.
hold up,
You
hold
don't
up,
have to
hold up.
experience the shit just to know what the fuck is going on.
Wait. Let's be clear. The simple answer to getting out of a poor neighborhood is money. You just got to figure out the ways to get it. But
No,
I'm saying the simple answer is
people
money.
who are in, people who are in poor areas, how to fix it systemically. They don't fucking know if they don't actually look at how to do it. But they live that life every day.
He's
You can
talking
live the
about
life
fixing
as
the
somebody
entire
who's depressed,
neighborhood.
But it doesn't fucking mean that they understand what depression is.
But it still can be
Literally,
it still
the
can be
first sentence
simplified.
that this nigga said about depression was wrong. He said depression is an emotion.
I said it deals
No.
with emotions, not it is emotions.
No,
It's
you
a
said
mental
it is an
disease
emotion,
that deals-
Then you changed
No.
it to it deals with an emotion.
No, I said it falls under the category with emotions.
Y'all,
That's
not
y'all
the
are
same.
crazy,
It does
man.
not. It does
Right.
not fall under the same
What
category.
is the
as-
true meaning of depression? Depression is a
Depression-
mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. Also called major depressive disorder or clinical depression, it affects how you think, feel, and behave and can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems.
You hear that? You hear that? How you think, feel, and behave. That's not emotions. That's not just emotions. It's way more than just fucking emotions.
Okay, well,
Depression
even something,
falls under
even
the
something
category
simply,
of emotion.
even something
No,
as simple
somebody
as
can be
fear,
depressed and go do some stupid shit.
even something
With-
as simple as fear can cause you to do some stupid shit. Oh, hey, I think she's gonna cheat on me,
but
so
I'm
what I'm
saying-
gonna do,
but
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying
cheat first. That's stupid.
Depression is a thought process.
Okay, look, we are way off topic anyway. Fuck
can
the
have-
depression shit. We're getting back to the root of the conversation. Cause that's way off. Dude that you talking about in this example is not dealing with fucking depression. He's dealing with a fear of getting cheated on.
An emotion. Yes, he's dealing with a real emotion, fear.
Okay, so my point is, again, and it goes back to Precise's point again. Precise feels like emotions are complicated. I feel like they're not. The conversation is going to go any further from there. It's two differences of opinion.
But that's what I'm saying. If emotions weren't complicated, we would know everything about them. We would know majority of the reasons we feel shit. The reason we would know all that shit.
Precise, you already gave the reason that the nigga is feeling the fear.
No, I'm saying as a society as a whole.
See, you making it. See, you trying all that type of shit all in one. You can't do that. Leave it on the example that you gave. This is not a society example. You are talking about one nigga with a fear of getting cheated on. This is not society anymore.
But the fear is an emotion. Emotions are something that societally we all experience. So where does it not tie in? So as a society,
but everyone's
as
situation
humanity,
is
if we
different,
cannot
though.
understand fully what the fuck emotions are, why they happen, how we can change them and fix them.
But everything that you
where the
just
fuck-
named with this dude, you already named everything.
And what's that?
You already named why the
said-
nigga feeling the way he feel. You already named where the shit is coming from. So at that point, he only has two options. And they are as simple as it can get. He can either have a conversation and move forward,
Which is not-
or he can try to deal with the shit on his own. And that's it.
But those are not simple solutions.
Oh my God.
An adult talk isn't a simple solution?
No, because it's not gonna fix the fucking problem, Sweeney.
How can you say that? How do you know how the conversation gonna go?
Because it's an emotion based off of something that. Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna ask y'all this. So if somebody cheated on somebody, right? And then they said, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that anymore." Do you think that feeling is just gonna fucking magically go away?
But that doesn't make the emotion complicated. They are validated in feeling how they feel. It is a direct result of the action that already happened. That's not complicated.
Answer the question. Hold on. Do you think the feeling is gonna disappear?
It's not about it disappearing. It's not complicated.
No. Just answer the question. It's yes or no. Do you feel like the feeling is going to disappear if somebody has a quote unquote adult conversation and says, "I'm not"?
You
gonna
know
do
what?
this."
Precise. They're still opinion based.
That
For
varies.
some people,
That varies.
for some women, that shit'll go right out the window once he apologized. For some women.
Everyone's got a different mindset when it comes to relationships.
Hey, I trust this man. He made a mistake. I believe he's not gonna do it again, and I'm not gonna hold it over his head. You got some women like that, and you got some women where once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't believe that shit. You gonna have to show me. So we don't know. We can't say.
Yeah,
And
see, I
that-
give up
and
after that.
that-
Y'all got it.
Oh, now we got it because we saying some logical shit.
Yeah, that right there, that sealed the deal. Yeah, y'all
I
got
bet it did because you can't prove that it don't happen.
it. Yeah, there's no point in even talking after that one.
So prove it don't happen then.
Cause that right there didn't.
It's many
said what?
it's many videos you can look up on YouTube where women saying what I'm saying.
Saying what?
Like you said, as far as the feeling going away, you got some women. Hey, he made a mistake. It happened one time. Didn't think no more about it. But according to your logical side, you feel like that's not true, right?
I'm saying.
No, I ain't know what I'm saying.
Just off the merits of somebody saying they're gonna do something, that is not. Then what? First of all,
No. See, like you just did me. Answer the question. If she says that that's the last time she thought about it, you have to take her word for it. Yes or no?
no. Because again, words. You can if you're taking that and you are stamping that and words mean that much, then again, there is no reason you shouldn't let that nigga in your house. He said he wasn't gonna steal. So what is there more to talk about?
Besides, you just talking to talk at this.
Or it's kind of like we still have emotions that are built off of. I'm not saying that it's not possible for somebody to feel like that. I'm saying our emotions are still built off of how we feel. Somebody saying something.
But the question you just asked,
Well, you know what?
See, you can't flip it, dog. You just asked, do you think that she's still gonna feel that way? Some women are not. That's life. So you can't counterject it. You can't say nothing behind it.
You gotta keep in mind, there's over 8 billion people in this world, and over half of that billion are women.
And half of that billion are gonna say, if they man say they're not gonna do it again, they're gonna take his word and roll on.
But we don't. First of all, we don't know that.
So why are you asking the question then?
Huh? What? Ask what?
So what's the point of you asking? Do you think if he says he's not gonna do it anymore, that she's not gonna feel that way anymore? What's the point of asking that then? Can't nobody prove
What
it.
I'm saying is, if he says, hold on, wait. If he says I'm not gonna do it anymore, she cannot shut that feeling off.
How do you know that? You don't know
because
that.
She believes him. No, either it's gonna go away with time because she believes him, or it's gonna continue to linger. You can't.
Hold on. How do you even know that it?
You can't.
How do you even know that it even bothered her?
If I'm saying if the emotion comes up, obviously it bothers her.
If the emotion comes up,
it evokes an emotional response. That means you are responding emotionally to whatever the fuck just happened.
besides, you constantly add new shit, dog.
Say, oh well, you know what? I'm not gonna do that no more. And then you could be like, oh really? Okay. Well, I'ma just go ahead and shut this feeling off because you said you wasn't gonna do it anymore. No, that's not how feelings work. That's not how emotions
Okay,
work.
but you can't speak for everybody. Everybody's emotions don't work the same.
Some people are stupid like
so
that.
there's people that can control their emotions?
To an extent, not fully.
No.
We can't.
Besides, you making 2 and 3 different arguments. You keep changing shit.
No, that's the same argument I just made. She is not going to be able to switch off her emotion. What you said was,
precise.
Some people can. So people can switch their emotions off and on, yes or no.
I mean, some people, yes, they can.
What we mean by control is...
That's where I end the conversation. Y'all got it.
Precise. What I mean by control is being able to hold them down to a minimum so they're not completely outstanding. And what I mean by that...
That's not controlling them. That's suppressing them. That's too.
Look at battle rappers. You think them niggas ain't controlling their emotions with some of the shit that's getting said to them on that stage? To not knock a nigga head out?
That's not controlling it. That is suppressing it. We are talking about 2 different words here.
Okay, so precise. So give me your definition of controlling an emotion then.
I can physically change the emotion that I'm feeling if I do or don't like it. If I feel sad, I can literally be like, oh, well, I don't want to be sad anymore, so I'm going to just not be sad. Kind of like, I don't like this controller anymore, so I'm going to go change it and get a new one. You can't do that.
Hey, guess what, Sweeney? Sweeney, hold on. No, stay on that point. Stay on that point.
You know, I feel sad, but I'm going to kind of push it down and keep on going about my day, and hopefully I get better. That is suppressing emotion.
So, Sweeney,
I can say,
you having a fucked up day.
Fix them and
you feel it. You know, like, damn, I'm feeling fucked up. I'm finna turn my favorite movie on. And you flip your mood in an instant. Is that not, in some way, shape, or form, controlling your emotions? You not letting your emotions get the best of you. You making the best out of your emotions. So is that not controlling it to a certain extent?
I'll even give you a better...
No. Just answer that first.
Well, in a way, yes. Because and I want Precise to hear me out.
God, Jesus Christ.
Because it's not always what your body does that helps control your emotions, and sometimes it's just the stuff that's around you. Sometimes you just need to be in a better
No,
setting.
even this Sweeney, even motherfuckers that have uncontrollable anxiety that will literally step to the side and give it about 2 minutes, they all right. Is that not them controlling their emotions?
You just said uncontrollable anxiety, and they said they fucking controlled it. That means it's not uncontrollable.
So if it, so hold on. So if they're screaming at the top of their lungs, if they're having bouts and then they go to the side, woosah, and do whatever they need to do, and now they are back at a level standpoint, is that not fucking controlling the anxiety to a certain extent?
That is taking steps to help their anxiety.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, all right.
But they can't say, oh, I don't want to be anxious anymore, so I'm going to just stop doing it. No, they have to take certain steps in order to achieve that goal. It's the same with emotions. You have to take certain steps in order to achieve the goal of not feeling the emotion and fixing the emotion. This is how fucking emotions work. You can't say, oh, I controlled my uncontrollable anxiety. That makes no fucking sense.
Well, yeah, at that point.
Because you know what? When they do that breathing and shit, guess what? The next time they have to step out of their comfort zone, guess what they're gonna have to do? Step right back on the side and do the same fucking thing. Because they haven't controlled shit.
That is controlling it.
But
no, they're not controlling it. They're changing what they do in order to fix it in that moment in time.
Isn't that controlling it though?
Oh my god.
I told you.
Isn't the act of doing something in either prevention or precaution to not feel those emotions controlling it?
If you have a controller and you click up on the stick, what is it gonna do?
It's gonna move up.
It's gonna
Hold on. Wait. See, every time you give an example, you fuck yourself up. So even if my controller is doing stick drift out of my control, say it's going to the left. If I grab the stick and push the motherfucker to the right, guess where it's going? To the fucking right. Is that not me controlling it?
What I'm saying,
answer the question.
if you go up, no. If you go up on the controller, it's going to go up. That means you did a direct action, and you had full control of it.
If my fucking controller is going to the right, and I take the stick and put it to the left, and it goes left, who's in control?
Trae,
Me or the
you're
controller?
spinning in a circle when you don't want to. That's not having control.
If it goes left and stays
You are
left,
still spinning in a circle when you don't want to. You are.
that's
still
because
shooting
I'm
right
holding
when you're
it
trying
to
shoot
the
left.
left.
That is not.
If I'm
having
going
control.
in a circle, that means that's because I'm continuing to hold it. If I let go of it, guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna go back to the right. If
It's gonna do whatever the fuck it wants to do.
no,
If the stick drifts to the right, that means you have to counteract that every time you do it.
so okay, so in your eyes, counteracting is not controlling.
Counteracting is not controlling in the instance of I have an emotion.
Can you say it's at least
I have
an
an emotion,
attempt
so
of
I'm gonna
controlling?
find steps to deal with it. And to
So
fix
can you
it.
so can you say that's an attempt at controlling it? If you're taking those necessary steps, wouldn't that be attempting at controlling it? Not necessarily having full control, but just trying to advance to being controlled?
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't consider that controlling it. You are taking steps to fix it. You are taking steps to deal with it.
Right, but Trae saying dealing with it is controlling. Because controlling, you don't necessarily have to have full control.
Right. Versus when you're having a moment and then you go to a doctor to get them fixed it, you're pretty much putting the power in their hands. Versus, okay, you're having a moment and you go to yourself, that's pretty much you taking control of the situation. I don't see how the fuck he does not, I don't know.
And flying a plane. I believe there is a couple different kinds of autopilot, if I'm not mistaken.
What does that mean? What are you talking about?
Because in a way, you could turn on the autopilot, but still be in control of certain parts of the plane. But the part that's being automatically controlled is just the plane flying.
Exactly, which is my point. The part that you will never be able to control is if you feel that emotion or not. Now, how you deal with that emotion, that is under your control. But the emotion itself is not under your control.
Precise. Nobody has disagreed with you on that part. Emotions in itself are not controllable. Nobody on God's green earth has argued that point. Who knows why you keep going back to that?
I'll talk a little faster.
My point is, emotions can be simple. Nobody said that they're quote unquote controllable. Nobody said that they don't just jump up at will or whatever the case. At the end of the day, they can be simple. If you saying, well, no, Trae, I disagree, I think they're complicated, then that's your opinion.
No. I understand that, but we gonna circle back. Cause I just sat there and said that for fucking 10 minutes and everybody was acting like I wasn't fucking making sense. You cannot control emotions. We can agree that, right? Emotions are not controllable.
Precise. I don't think nobody in this chat said that.
That emotions can.
Nobody in this chat said you can control emotions.
I don't know if you've been looking at the damn chat.
Who said that?
But
name the person that said that. Because I ain't seen one comment that said you can control emotions. Please name them.
If I get bullied, I can control my emotions, not shoot up a school and just get help. That was Jack that said that stupid ass shit.
It were in my chat
Makes
or
no
yours?
Sense.
Well,
yeah, in your chat. But again, that makes no sense because obviously we're not talking about what you can do to fix it. We've already established that. I said the emotion, if you have an emotion from getting bullied, you cannot switch that shit on and off.
No, but you can
deal
control.
with it and get
you
help.
can control how you
that shit
put
made no
that
fucking sense.
You can control how you put that
as I
emotion
was
out.
Explaining, you cannot control an emotion. You can deal with the emotion. That's the part that you have control over. But you do not have control over whether the emotion is there or not. Having the control of the emotion would be, oh, you know what? I feel sad. I don't want to fucking feel sad that something happened to my mom's, so I'm going to just cut that shit off. That's having control.
So there's the emotion, and then there's the action as a result of the emotion. You have control over the action. You don't have control over the emotion.
Yes.
But that does not mean that the emotion is complicated.
What makes the emotion
See, and that's how the conversation keeps going.
No, that's the problem. The emotion is complicated on how to deal with the emotion. You have control to deal with it, but it is still a complicated thing depending on what the fuck the emotion is and in what situation it is given.
Right. Hey, Jack.
Deal with an emotion based off of a situation
Jack, what you doing?
Happened and that you have a fear of is a very difficult thing to deal with because there's nothing you don't know how you're going to feel if the shit happens. You have no idea what it's like. You have no perception of the experience of that feeling. You just have a fear. Compared to if something has happened to you, then you have trauma. And you have to deal with traumatically fixing shit. What you went through traumatically and how to fix it. You have an experience. You know how you felt when it happened. You know when it happened. You know what you tried to do to fix it or what you didn't try to do to fix it or who was involved. You know everything. You know a lot of the pieces that can help to form a solution. when you don't have any fucking experience whatsoever, you have to go based off of something that could possibly maybe quite happen, but not yet.
But that does not make the emotion in itself complicated.
He's stupid.
But that's what I'm saying. The emotion is complicated because you can't control whether it comes up or not. When it comes up, then you have to figure out how to deal with the shit. That is a complicated process. It's not easy to deal with.
Hold on. So repeat what you just said, Precise. That is a complicated process. That does not make the emotion complicated.
Why are we talking like the emotion isn't directly tied to the process?
Because the emotion is just that. The emotion is simple. The process is what you're talking about, is what's complicated. You just said that.
Which would make the emotion
No,
complicated.
it does not.
Why are we splitting this?
Because everything that you're conjuring up in your mind, everything that you feel like you may deal with or may not, is a result of the emotion that you're feeling, which is simple. The process of how you're gonna deal with all this shit is what's complicated. You just said that out of your own mouth.
I said that, but I'm saying that makes the emotion complicated because you can't control whether it comes or not. You have an emotion that is brought upon you based off of certain situations that, A, you don't know why the fuck you feel like that. You don't know where it's coming from.
Jack, what time are you going to sleep?
And then on top of that, you have to figure out how to deal with it based off of little to no knowledge on what the fuck the experience of something like that is. That's not complicated?
That's still the process, Precise. That's not the emotion.
But without the emotion, there would be no process. So I'm
the process and the emotion are still two different things, Precise.
How?
Oh my God.
I'm saying how in that sense. In the sense of what you're saying. If I have this emotion that came up out of nowhere and that I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of, in order to get rid of it, I have to go through this complicated process.
I have to go through this complicated process. I have to go through this complicated process. I have to go through this complicated process. I have to go through this complicated process.
Based off of this emotion.
Based off the emotion, which is simple.
I knew he was gonna say that in those exact words. Oh
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This folks slow as hell in the chat. I ain't gonna care.
It's pretty much a cause and effect. The emotion, how you gonna deal with the emotion? Cause and effect. The emotion, fear, simple. How you gonna deal with the shit? Why are you feeling the shit? This, that, and the third. That's the complication. It don't get no simpler than that.
No. But emotions in themselves are complicated because they pop up when they want to. And on top of that, sometimes you don't understand where they came from. That is a complicated problem in itself. Then on top of that, you have to figure out how the fuck to deal with them. The complicated process in order to get rid of a complicated.
If you are not mentally aware of an emotion coming out of nowhere and you not knowing how to figure out what caused it, you have a fucking problem. That's just being honest. Precise, you don't have to agree on that. That's the way I feel, and that's what I stand on. If you cannot figure out what the fuck is bothering you, you have a fucking problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe that. There are people who have no problem, like mentally they are fine, but they can still have fucking emotions where they're like, why the fuck do I feel like
And
that?
guess what they eventually end up doing? Going to get help.
But that's what I'm saying, not necessarily.
In whose case then? Not
'Cause I don't
necessarily.
think emotion. I'll put it to you like this. I'm sure people have had this feeling before where they like, damn, I kind of had this real like bad feeling like some shit finna go.
That is
like,
too
happen.
No, you didn't just say that.
Well, how? How is that different?
That's almost like an instinct. That's not no precise, please.
No,
It is
I'm
almost
not
4 o'clock in the morning. You did not just say
talking
that.
about an instinct. I'm not talking about an instinct. I'm saying somebody who just has this feeling of dread come over them. It's not because of the situation that happened. It's not because of the situation that no. They just have this sense of dread. Like, you know what? I feel like something bad like finna happen. Like I'm finna wake up to some fucked up news or something.
And usually what ends up happening?
Well, it depends on the situation.
Mob.
Sometimes there's some bad news, but because it's life and bad news happens, so thinking some bad shit finna happen is not really something. It's not like, oh, I could tell like something was gonna happen. No, bad shit is gonna happen. You keep on saying, you know, you feel like some shit bad gonna happen. Eventually some bad shit gonna happen. Life is ass. But what I'm saying is, depending upon the situation, there's not like what do you like? There's nothing you can do about that. What the fuck do you do? What do you do over a sense of dread like that? You can't do shit. Because again, you're basing feelings, you're having a feeling off of some shit that hasn't happened. How do you move on from that?
So wait, hang on. So just let me backtrack. Let me make sure I have this right. So you're talking about like just someone who just randomly, and we're going with randomly, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay. And so have those thoughts of dread, sadness, like it kind of goes back to the depression thing, right?
What do you mean it goes back to the depression thing?
Like those people having those depressive moments, those feelings of
No,
sadness.
there's no such thing as a
randomly.
depressive
still got a headache.
Either you are depressed or you're not. There's no such thing as having a depressive moment. Depression is something that can be diagnosed.
Well, there are depressive disorders.
Right. So you have a disorder.
Yeah.
Either you have it or you don't.
While you have the disorder, you have your depressive moments.
But you have a depressive disorder. We're talking about people who do not suffer from depression.
Sweeney, I don't know why you trying to.
They might. They just may not know it.
Sweeney, Precise has his opinion.
Okay,
He feels like emotions are complicated.
Because again, we're dealing with my god. Okay, a person who got fucking checked, who got fucking had a fucking psychologist and a fucking psychiatric evaluation. Sit there and work with them. They have no signs of depression. They still can sense, or they can still have emotions that come clear out of the fucking sky when you wake up in a fucking bad mood. What are you mad about?
Jack, are you about to eat, or are you about to just call it a night? This has been going on for two. Because the simple.
Are we not finna sit there and act like that doesn't happen? A regular, rational person can wake up in a bad
See,
mood,
y'all keep y'all. See, Sweeney is the cause. Y'all getting off the subject. Precise feels like emotions are complicated. There is nothing we can do about that. That is his opinion. Now, if he wants to try to keep going out about to prove this, that's him wasting his time because you can't prove it.
Creed, I don't even drink.
Can't prove what?
You can't prove that emotions are complicated. You can only give us your opinion on why you feel the way that you feel. But that
I can prove that. I can prove that emotions are uncontrollable.
Precise, but that's the thing. Nobody has disagreed with you on that.
Again, when I was saying emotions are uncontrollable, niggas in the chat was acting like I was going crazy. It's some slow niggas in there, Trae. I'm telling you. You might not disagree with that, but it's some slow niggas in the chat.
Well, I'm keeping it on my initial disagreement. Emotions are simple as hell.
And what I'm saying is, because the emotion is directly tied to how you deal with it, it makes it all complicated. The process of having an emotion like that, based off of that type of situation, is a complicated process as a whole. From having the emotion to trying to figure out why the fuck you have an emotion to trying to figure out how to deal with it.
But the raw emotion in itself is still simple. Either way it goes. You're tying all that into the emotion.
So precise. Do you think, say, a kid on Christmas, like, not every kid is gonna act the same, obviously, but those kids that know how to contain their excitement and know not how to scream everywhere and you know, just like be nice and organized and make sure everything goes smoothly. Is that not them controlling their emotions?
Oh my god, no the fuck it's not. It's not. That's controlling how they respond based off of the emotion.
So hold on. So you see what he doing there, Sweeney? Now he don't want to put it all together. But at his point, he want to put it all. He want to put all the shit together. You see how he just separated it? You see how he just separated how they act on Christmas and respond versus the actual emotion. You see that?
Because we're talking about two different things. We're talking about the control of one, and we're talking about the complication of one. You can only control how you respond to an emotion that you have. You can only control that aspect. You cannot control whether you feel like that or not. If you could, then motherfuckers would be like, oh, well, you know what? I'm not going to be sad anymore. That's not how it works. You can control, well, you know what? I feel like this. Let me go out and do this, this, and this, and maybe I'll feel better. That is what you have control over. But yes, when you're talking about the complication of how to deal with something, you have to lump it all together because you wouldn't have to go through.
Well, but Sweeney, ain't that kind of complicated? Let's say one of the kids do wake up a little earlier than the other kids. Oh, it's Christmas, woo, and then wake the whole house up. Is that not a complicated situation?
You said what?
When a kid wakes up the whole household on Christmas.
Yeah, because they can't quote unquote control their emotions and excitement. When, hey, we're gonna get up at 10 o'clock, you guys, and we're gonna open presents, but the oldest kid got up at 8, and now she wants to jump hoop around and holler, oh, it's Christmas, 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 and woke the whole house up. Is that not now a complicated situation? Because she didn't know how to quote unquote control her emotions?
No, I didn't say no, that's not controlling her emotions. That's not knowing how to control her response to said emotion.
So that's two different things. The emotion and the response
together
to the emotion.
Huh?
That's still two different things, correct?
The emotion is
different. The emotion is what? Her being happy. Is that simple or isn't it? Crickets.
Bro, you got it.
Wow.
You got it. That shit is that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh, but we can't answer the question. Wow, Sweeney, you hear that?
Because you're trying to split up. Because you're trying to split up. If you have an emotion, right? For instance, a fear of, like, what were we talking about? A fear of blah 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 blah. Something that's never happened, or anger of blah 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 blah. Something that's never happened, right? That is a complicated emotion because typically the way you can deal with your emotions is if you understand why and where the emotion came from. If you don't understand why and where the fucking emotion came from, then that automatically starts you off.
But Precise, you already said where it came from. It came from the bitch leaving the house. And he not knowing what the fuck is gonna happen. So you're contradicting yourself, buddy.
No, I'm not contradicting myself. Right. It's based off of something that is regular. That's something that is essential to life.
Okay, Christmas is regular and essential to life.
No, it's not essential to life. That's why, no, Christmas is a fucking Christian holiday. Majority of the fucking
But we
country
do say it
celebrates
is
it and not even Christian. But there are many people that don't fucking celebrate Christmas. We're talking about a fucking holiday compared to somebody leaving the house because they had to go to work or because they had to go to the store because they need food to eat. And the only way you can get food to eat.
Right. But that doesn't change the fact that this emotion kicks up when she leaves without him. So he knows exactly where that's coming from.
No, that's what I'm saying. When I say where the emotion is coming from, why they feel like this. I'm saying why they feel like this. Why
the why has already been established, Precise.
I have a feeling like they're gonna go do something.
Right, that's the why. So it's not nothing that needs to be figured out.
Right. So, but this is what I'm saying. The cause of the feeling is when they leave the house.
Right. So we have the what? We have the why.
No. The why as to why they feel like that when they leave the house, that's a whole different subject. That's a whole different. Why do I feel like this when they leave the
You
house?
already answered that.
I know this response is evoked when they leave the house. Yes, I'm clear on that. I understand the connection that when they leave the house, I start to feel like this. Why do I feel like this?
Because you feel like you're gonna get cheated
because
on.
Because I have a fear of this happening. Okay, so.
And what is this? It's the act of getting cheated on. So keep going.
Hold on. I have a fear of something that has A, never happened to me, and B, is being fucking triggered by somebody doing something as natural and as simple as leaving the house. Now I have to figure out how the fuck do I deal with a feeling like that? I can't say, don't leave the house anymore. That's not fair. I can't say, take me everywhere you go. That's not fair. I can't say, oh, I'm going to need you to call me every time you leave the house. That's not fair. And there might be instances where they can't.
So guess what's going to happen? I
can't expect somebody to drop their job to go just because I want to be on the phone with them while they working because I have this.
What did I say earlier, y'all? If you can't figure this shit out for yourself, then you have a fucking problem. And when you have a fucking problem like that, you need to get fucking help. Cause guess what the therapist is gonna ask you? Well, the same shit we just said. Well, when do these emotions kick up? Well, when she leaves the house without me. So what do you think is gonna happen while she's out? I don't know. If she could find someone else, she could cheat, she could do anything. Okay, well, where did you get this from? Well, it's on TV. My friends have been through it. Just it's all around. But it's never happened to you? No, but that doesn't mean that it can't. Okay,
I was about to say, just because it doesn't happen to you doesn't make the fear itself invalid.
I didn't say it makes the fear invalid. What I said was it makes the fear harder to pinpoint how to deal with it because you have no experience. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know you don't know anything. You don't have any perception of a situation like that. So all you have to go based off of is your mind. You have to go based off of that fear. You have to go based off of what it might feel like, what it might look like, what it might sound like, how it might happen. You have to go based off of that shit. You have to go based off of shit that hasn't happened, that doesn't exist. Am I tripping?
I just think at this point, it just might be a terrible example.
No. What I'm saying is, when you have a fear of something that is not directly caused by a certain situation that has happened, it is harder to pinpoint and figure out where that shit came from. Because you have to, first of all, you have to get to the bottom of it.
No,
But even
see where
aside
you're
from
coming
that,
from.
but even
I see.
aside from that, Trae, after that talk, you just asked all them questions. Oh, well, why did you feel like that? Well, have you ever experienced this? Okay. So, okay, now we've had this discussion. Nothing's been fixed. I still am going to feel like this. So where do we go from here? Because simply talking about it, that's just not going to
Nah,
help. Because if talking about it helped, then you could have did that shit with your significant other. So obviously, Trae, you felt like it was a problem to where that person needed to get help. So if he needed to get help, right? So now,
Yeah, I mean, because just logically speaking, you can't
discussion.
control anybody. So it's like you already got a fucked up mindset anyway.
So all you can do is you can work on trying to figure out how to better deal with and how to better understand what the fuck is going
Besides,
on.
you still is missing my whole point. That
If
does
you
not
had control,
make
you could just
the
switch that
emotion
shit off.
complicated. You're still talking about the process of it at the end of the day.
So you're saying the process of something can be complicated, but the subject.
It's simple as pie.
So hold on. So you're saying there is no way that emotion can be complicated, and
There is
the process be complicated as well.
there is no way an emotion that you can identify.
Even when you're dealing with complicated issues,
See, you're going off subject. You're going off subject. We're talking about emotions.
No.
We're talking about emotions that you deal with from the time you come in this world until the time that you leave this bitch. If you haven't got it figured out, then something is fucking wrong with you.
You're saying that, but that means nothing. It's complicated if you don't have it figured out. If you don't know why you have this emotion,
That doesn't make the emotion
it's a
complicated. How are you not getting that? You're talking about the process.
No, I'm saying if you don't know why this emotion is upon you, we are talking about a situation where we understand where this emotion is coming from. Why? Well, we don't understand where it's coming from, but we understand the reason behind the emotion being there, and we understand the trigger as to why the emotion is there. There are people that experience emotions that have no trigger, have no reason, have no rhyme. It just fucking happens.
And those are the people that need extra help.
But I'm saying this happens to regular, everyday, rational people.
When you're dealing with an array of emotions, that is in itself complicated because you can't help it. A situation where somebody is directly or indirectly doing something to you, that is something you can help.
Trae, you got it. It's no point.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna look back on this conversation and think it was funny as hell. That's all I know. I don't know about you guys, but
You've been able to.
no,
Like I said.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a good time to end the stream or not, Trey. I don't know if you are, but if it is, if it
That's what I'm
is,
saying. I
then
ain't tripping. Me and Trae be having discussions like this all the time. We gonna feel how we feel. I don't. That ain't shit to me. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not gonna change. Like, but
No, please.
Precise is
please,
Precise is the only one saying no here. I've already
No.
chalked up his opinion being his opinion. He the one telling me and Sweeney, no.
No, but I'm saying.
Can we just end
But that's
this?
what I'm saying. It became less like getting the point across to you, Trae, and more to some of the dumb motherfuckers in the chat. Because some of the shit they were saying just wasn't making no goddamn sense. That's why I kept reiterating, emotions cannot be controlled. Because there were motherfuckers like, what Precise talking about? Control, huh? Okay. So that's why it was less on you and more like, yeah, you got some stupid motherfuckers.
He said,
in your chat, I ain't gonna lie.
well, I still attest that to the conversation going all over the damn place. When it was as simple as, like I said, the emotion and then the act or the process of everything that comes behind the emotion.
All right, let's change the subject. Do we want to run one more thing of trios, or are we done for the night?
Trios.
Man, y'all crazy.
Do we want to run multiplayer?
That's what I'm saying. I ain't tripping over it. This is just motherfucker.
You know that, bruh. We're gonna look back on this conversation and we're gonna laugh. We're absolutely gonna laugh.
See, now niggas talking crazy. I ban your ass. You better get your mod. Keep fucking around.
See, that's why I said, man. See.
Like everyone in the chat
Yeah,
knows.
we ain't finna do that now. This is a conversation between me and my niggas. Now, whether you finna sit there and listen or give your input, that's fine. But don't go start, Precise, Precise doing this. Nah, don't start doing that. You get your ass banned. Trae can't save you. So,
If you ain't got a mod,
you better get your mod. 50. Mod. J-Bomb, I ain't playing, gang. You better get your mod. Either constructively criticize the conversation or shut the fuck up. Don't go talking crazy.
wait,
You ain't safe just because you agreeing with Trae.
Either we see the blue or we ain't listening to you.
Yeah. Them non-mods got real quiet in that moment.
hey Jack, don't say the wrong thing. It's nice having you here.
Oh, man.
Right, we ain't finna do that now.
All right. Well, it's safe to say we're off the topic.
Y'all crazy, man.
Everybody that's
All
mod,
right,
I
all right.
fuck with y'all. Everybody that wasn't a mod, that was putting in real criticism into the conversation, I fuck with y'all. All you dick riding ass niggas that felt like they had. Keep on here.
The fact that Precise was this loud at what 2 in
No,
the morning
Jack,
over there?
Jack,
That's
just
crazy.
don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I said.
Man.
Do you talk your shit? Just don't go overboard.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes even our mods be abusing their power. I can't even front.
Yeah, because I'm saying it's this was not a right or wrong situation.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It was two different, which I kept trying to say. It was two different opinions.
And that's one of the beauties of this world. And everyone got a different mindset.
Yeah, now going off the subject.
That's what I'm saying. I challenge my niggas' mindsets. Let me do it in peace. Fuck y'all.
No, Precise, we were challenging your mindset. This was not you challenging us.
It was a dual challenge. It was a dual challenge. It was a duel. It was a duel.
Trying to figure out where you were coming from.
Precise. My stance didn't change. My stance from the jump street was keep stuff simple, even when it come to relationship. So when you talking that bullshit, talking about, I don't have a sense of love in this.
There are certain aspects that you can keep simple, and there are
Yeah,
other
DJ,
aspects
I was about to
that are
say,
just going to be convoluted.
I'm about to say,
and gonna be,
I ain't no peacemaker. I try to be the
complex just
middleman.
based off of the
Don't mean I
nature
am one.
of what they are.
See, and that's what everything can be simple. I don't believe in that logic. That no, there are going to be some things that are just, no, it's not. Anytime you're dealing with complications, it's usually when you have to deal with somebody else.
They start back.
Now you tell me if I'm wrong.
Please. Dear God. Dear God.
Trae, we off this.
No, I'm saying we ain't talking about emotion no more. We just talking about even stuff being simple. When you usually don't have to deal with other people, that's usually the simplest that your life is gonna get. When you have to start dealing with other people and incorporating all these other opinions and emotions, again, all these opinions and emotions and other shit, that's when shit gets complicated.
I think it does make it more complex, and the simplest form of shit typically happens intrinsically. The least amount of people you gotta worry about, the least amount of emotions, opinions, and shit like that, the more simple it becomes to deal with certain shit. Yes, I agree with that.
Bro, y'all stop. J-Ball finna swallow the blunt. Y'all stop.
So that's just been my whole point from Jump Street. Now where the shit went haywire, or I don't know.
But I'm saying it's more simple, but in the sense of the overarching point, it's still a very complicated situation. It's
Mason,
not
what
as
the
complicated
fuck is you
as
talking about?
X, Y, and Z.
Man, it's no
Mason, what the
different.
fuck is you
It's no
talking
different than life.
about? What?
Life is as complicated as you gonna make.
Matter of fact, my bad, Trae. Hold on, we about to make a. Hey, fuck out of here. I had to set an example because that nigga was talking crazy. That Westbrook.
Damn.
I wasn't seeing his messages.
Oh yeah, I was. That nigga was talking crazy. And I don't give a damn how y'all feel about it in this chat. Oh, besides, you're not supposed to do that. This Trae chat. Listen, if Trae came in this motherfucker and said, hey, keep on fucking with me, you got to go, I can't save you. Better get your mod.
Y'all know the rules, man.
For real, for real.
If you don't know the rule by this point, you just don't know.
Where my nigga Sniper at? I appreciate you for the big fucking 75 to the motherfucking Streamlabs. Who else finna fuck with my Streamlabs?
Yeah, it's 91 folks in here, man. Let me get some pain and suffering.
I think it just depends on. The aspect of emotion. How do people view emotion? Period.
Right, and everyone has their different view.
I have such a disconnected. I'm very disconnected from my emotions. Very disconnected. Extremely disconnected from my emotions. Some situations happen in my life, and I have to sit there like, how the fuck am I supposed to rationally respond to this? Because I don't have an emotion just pop up. Like that's not how it works. I have to think about. Because I'm pretty much just mid all the time, just midway every time. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. Just in the middle. Just all the
honestly,
time, just middle.
But there is a root to that.
For the narcissistic, but I could actually relate to that in a way.
That's what I'm saying, Sweeney. Like that's typically how I go day by day. Like I'm just in the middle. And if something happens, I'll be up. Or if I'm looking forward to something like the March trip, I'm up. You know, I incline. If something bad happens, I decline. But for the most part, I'm just in the middle. But if something
it's a root to that though.
Like really bad. If something really bad happens, I have to think about. Like when I lost my grandfather, I was real close.
Y'all.
I was real close to my grandfather. But when something happened to him, I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel any of that. I didn't know how to feel. Like that shit took a long time for me to grasp what I was supposed to feel about that.
And
that's just how I am with emotions.
And yeah, I was the same way for a little bit as a kid, because I remember I literally remember this like it was yesterday. My mom was driving just a couple blocks away from the neighborhood, and some person was texting and driving on the opposite side. They got into her lane, and she had to swerve off, and she hit a tree. And I remember my dad took me and my sister to the scene. My dad's stressing, my sister's crying, but I'm just sitting there with a blank stare. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, you literally couldn't see an emotion from me. Like,
Look,
you literally couldn't see a thing.
Well, look, man.
Yeah, like I I mean I don't know. It just
Nah, DJ, we on something else. We ain't on the
the way
original
like
topic.
the way I bottle my shit up, but I know I do. But that's why I was telling Trae, like as somebody who bottles up their emotions. When you say, "Oh, the simple way is just to just deal with that shit on your own." I go through that struggle every day. Like the struggle of dealing with my emotions cuz A, I don't like emotion dumping on people, and B, I don't really fuck with people like that. And C, I don't really know how I feel about certain shit, so it's kind of hard to talk about some shit that you fully can't even wrap your own damn head around. Let alone have somebody try to empathize or sympathize with you when you don't fully, because they don't fully understand, because you don't fully understand what the fuck is going on. So I bottle my shit up. That's what I do. That's how I deal with my shit. Y'all would not know. Listen, when some shit happened, it's been shit that's happened to me, y'all, that has happened while I've been streaming that y'all had no clue because I would get on this motherfucker and just there you wouldn't even know that some shit was wrong.
Yeah, you show no emotion.
But that's how bottled up I am. It's not
Yeah.
good. I fucking hate it. I wish I could, you know, I like no hoe shit. But like people be talking about like, oh like I was feeling like shit this week, but you know what? I cried. I got it all out. Now I'm good. Like I feel better. I do not understand what that feels like because that's just not me.
Well, I mean, I have to
Right,
deal with my shit here.
and there's plenty of people in the world that can easily relate to you on that as well, because some people just don't have that mindset. They don't think they could bring themselves to be in that situation, to think that they're so down with themselves that they need to have that kind of moment, you know?
I have to deal with my shit here.
Yeah, like that's just how I am with emotion. I'm real bottled up. Niggas won't know what's wrong with me.
But see, that's why in a situation where Precise be trying to tell me, oh, shit, calm down, Megan, she just, no, fool, that shit really, y'all need to see this raw emotion, because this motherfucker saying some stupid shit. Ain't no motherfucking side with a motherfucker lying on you. That shit gets thrown out.
Yeah.
Give a fuck. Ain't no nice at this point.
Yeah. Which I understand that, but like I think for me it's more like it takes a while. It just takes a while before I really understand like, oh, I am fucked up.
No, I don't like stupid
And
shit.
I need to But like even with that like aspect, like not to say I can't evoke a response based off of like certain shit that happens, but like I have to really think about it like when the shit with you and Bank happened,
Oh,
right?
wow.
I'm saying like the clan shit, right? Like I didn't feel like bad because Bank left the clan and y'all were going at it, but I didn't feel good. Like I didn't know how to feel. Like it was like I was in this limbo. It's like, okay, I should have this type of react. That's what I do a lot too. I kind of like um I kind of give like an expectation of the reaction that I'm supposed to have, and then like when I go against that shit, it just fucks with me mentally. So like with my grandfather, I was like, I should be fucking sad right now, but I'm not. Like I got this news yesterday, and I'm on the fucking game like nothing happened. What the fuck is wrong with me? Right?
Well, and there are different factors that might go into it, like how long did you know him, and like were you around him as much, and like did y'all have like a good relationship, and like just those general questions that would accompany to you feeling that way when he does.
We had a fucking great relationship, Sweeney. That was I got his name as my middle name. I was closer to him than any of us. I got 5 siblings, y'all. Well, technically 6, but Kayla come around when she want to, as y'all can see. She come to the stream and don't say shit to me. So, Right, Trey, you noticed that shit, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I got 5 siblings that I grew up with, right?
Mhm.
I was the closest out of all of them to my grandfather. Even though my oldest, I'm the second youngest, y'all. So, I got 4 brothers over me. I only got one younger brother. I'm considered one of the babies of the family. Even though I met this nigga late in the game. I still formed like a close bond. Like that was the type of shit. Like Trae, how I learned how to play pool. That nigga. He would teach me how to play. I would play with him all the fucking time. So it was just shit like that. So you would think all that emotional connection, that history, oh, that shit finna fall out like a damn Niagara Falls or something. Like